This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hyde and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey everybody, it's Shuli, and on Monday's wrap-up show, tensions were running a little high. People came in, were already planning their escape for Tuesday and Wednesday, and Howard called them out on it, and I jumped in as well. And some feelings were hurt. People were on edge. They were not happy with me, and I had to go into the wrap-up show and defend myself for trying to be funny on a comedy show. Go figure.
Are you undependable?
I do not think I am undependable.
But Howard asking you that just cuts you to the core.
Well, okay, do you think that Howard's being disingenuous when he says, hey, I just asked a question? Do you think there's a difference between asking, do you think you're going to be able to make it in tomorrow, and can I depend on you? Do you think can I depend on you is a bit of a loaded question?
Yes, I'd absolutely.
Right.
Yes. And we all knew it, but apparently you didn't know it.
No, I did know it, but he's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then, well, I'll there's a guy up on the board that take the call from number 7.
Oh, I just took 4, so hold on.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Chris, you go first, then we'll go to 7.
Chris in Connecticut.
Hey, Chris in Connecticut, how you doing?
Hey guys, great show. Listen, Gary, I think Howard and Robin are a little out of touch with things, and I understand what you're saying. You want to be there with your family. There is stuff that you can do. They have people that can do that stuff for them. I don't know. I think it was just. I think it was a little too harsh on you.
Well, that was the other thing too. When Howard at one point said words to the effect of, "Oh," and then all the anger come out. Gary goes, "You have 2 houses and you have a staff of people." That's not jealousy or anger. I've never been jealous of his home. I am so happy for him that he has what he has. I'm just saying you have options that I don't have, so don't compare us.
So this is one of those weird things, and I'm talking as a Howard Stern fan, not as an employee, where I disagreed with every single thing that Howard said to you about the hurricane, and yet enjoyed every single second of it. I mean, I was laughing. I felt bad for you. I came and talked to you, I think, a couple different times, but oh my God, was that funny? Even though I thought he was totally wrong in what he was saying, it was still great.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
What we talked about last week. That's the weird backhanded compliment I get.
It is weird.
Love you, Gary, but I love when he yells at you.
Did it make it worse that Shuli was in there piling on?
It did. And Shuli's out having a cigarette. I told him, he goes, should I have a cigarette before the beating? I said, have 2. But because I think there's a line of people who want to beat up on him. But when you sit in the studio, yes, it's your job to be funny. Now, I didn't think everything he said today was being funny. I thought at times he was piling on. And even if you are being funny and you are piling on, you can't expect to walk out of the studio and act like it didn't happen. When you go in there, you're saying, all right, I'm going to fuck with Gary, and if there's repercussions, I'll deal with it. But Shuli wants it to be like, what do you mean, man? What are you talking about?
So, first of all, the funniest thing that happened was after the show, you asking Shuli if he was going to have time to come down to the wrap-up show.
I didn't. No,
Shuli always has time to come down to the wrap-up
I didn't.
show.
He just said, do I have time for a cigarette
Even
before?
when John doesn't have time for Shuli to come down to the wrap-up show, he finds time to come down to the wrap-up show. I thought Shuli was brutal to you, and some of it was funny, and some of it was, I can't wait to see what's going to happen off air between Gary and Shuli, like if there's going to be tension there. But there is something to be said since Shuli's not here, to say like, hey, he's auditioning for a job. I would imagine
that's fine, but if, you can't blame it all on, hey, I'm trying to get the job, so I made you look like a piece of shit. And I said to John, it was a lot like the kid in school who accidentally does something right that the whole class did wrong. So he accidentally decided to take the room, probably because he just doesn't want to be home. And
oh, please! First of all, is there anything more embarrassing than Shuli gloating about the fact that he left his wife and newborn baby at home? I mean, forget Howard for a second. He kept pointing out to Howard, oh, how cool am I to be at the hotel?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what, Shuli? I don't think you look that great.
He goes, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm the good guy. And I found that annoying. And Shuli, in all fairness, is not a homeowner and never has been a homeowner. So doesn't Shuli, I think he rents, correct?
I don't know.
Hey, John, we're trying to see how long we can go without you talking on your own show.
It's okay. You're doing great.
I think he rents a house somewhere, right across the river. So if a tree falls, he's like, "Go pick up all my shit, let the water come in. It's not my headache."
Will was. I'm going home after the show. I'm trying to get a car service to go home after the show. because I will not be able to relax tonight thinking that my wife is home scared. Even if it's just listening to the wind and being scared, I can't hack it. And Will is very much undecided. And I told him, I go, when you get a call at 1 o'clock in the morning that a tree branch came through the window and your wife and kid are screaming and they need someone just to comfort, forget fixing this shit, just comforting them.
Well,
you're
gonna
feel like garbage. And
but that's a huge point.
Yeah.
Because so Robin's like, what are you going to do? Cut a tree down? I'm like, no, but maybe I can help my family from being scared shitless.
Right. You want to be there for them.
Right.
And Jason, you're right. But Will also is thinking, am I not dependable then? Am I letting the show down because everybody else is coming here and braving whatever they're braving and staying in the hotel in the city?
Who's staying in the hotel?
Everybody who came in.
Ooh. No, we all.
Oh,
no.
I don't know who's staying
in the hotel tonight.
Shuley.
Shuley's the only one. And Tim lives in the city.
Tim lives in the city. I think Brandano's staying.
Yeah, he's staying.
But he's got nobody.
JD and I, and that's true. JD and I have
you have
nobody.
each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the question is who with the family is staying in tonight?
Nobody.
Can I just tell you, if I didn't have a wife, holy shit, Tim got us sweet fucking hotel rooms. I mean, 30th floor suites with huge beds and internet. Yeah, in fact, I almost came in last night and I told Janice
Why don't you bring Janice in?
It would be more fun. I wanted to bring Janice in last night. We had the hotel room for last night because the transportation was shut down.
Yeah.
She, even though it's a pet-friendly hotel, she would just not up and leave. I couldn't make her do it. She just would not. Even if I said we could bring the dog and the cat, she was like, I'm not leaving the apartment.
I do want to say one good thing about my staff, because I really do love the guys that work with me. For a guy like Jason or a guy like Will, this would be an excellent opportunity to stab me in the back. Meaning to say, this would be an excellent opportunity to take the hotel room and say, listen, I'm dependable. Gary's not dependable, but I'm going to step up.
Only an asshole would take this as an opportunity to better themselves by putting you down.
Shuley's here.
Steve, I see Steve Brandano laughing back there. Shuley, you, I think, did a very good job in the studio today, and everybody hates you.
Well, that's how you know you did a good job.
Well,
it is?
My question to you...
So angry.
I thought it was like they were like some sort of funny meter.
So I sat Shuley down and told him how to work it, and that's what he walked away with.
Shuley,
if everyone hates you, you're doing something
Shuley,
right.
when you were in there, were you thinking twice about how far you were going to go? I understand Howard saying, Shuley, you're going to be here. Like, of course I'm going to be here. But you went well beyond, of course I'm going to be here.
Well, listen, it comes down to the age-old scenario, which is there are no guests today. So we definitely become the guests on the show. And somebody's going to get their shot, whether they want it or not.
But that's not the question. That's a cop-out. That's not the question. Isn't, yes, there were no guests today, so I'm in the hot seat, Ronnie's in the hot seat. How far you go doesn't depend on whether we have a guest or not.
But since when do we set up? But Gary, since when are there limitations on how far we go?
No, there are no limitations at all.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
But do you think are there going to be repercussions? I mean, there were with you and Doug when Doug busted your balls on the air, whether it was funny or not. You were pissed.
About with the baby clothes?
Yeah, are we allowed to even say that?
No, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like it was something happened on the air.
No, absolutely. Listen, I knew I pissed you off, but going back to the first time I sat in for a week, I pissed you off before the show even started. And I came to you right after that and I said, Gary, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I got into this goofing mode with the guys. And you said, if you don't do that, then you're not doing your job.
Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that I can't get pissed off at you.
And that's fine. You're entitled to. But I'm just saying, it's the same thing you told me not to shy away from last time.
I thought you were being a big, I'm trying to think of the right word, like a jumper on. Like you
shitster.
No, you accidentally did something correct by taking the hotel room. Right. And you were going to rub it in everybody's face.
Well, because it wasn't easy for me to leave last night either.
Well,
I imagine everybody.
Easy.
No, it wasn't at all. But at that point in time, when he's busting your balls, it's, I'm adapting to the situation. I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah, I had a long talk with my wife and it was up and down whether I left. He doesn't want to hear that. He wants to hear jokes about you.
Yeah, but some of them weren't jokes. That's my point.
Well,
there were jokes at times. Some of them were like, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. You can depend on me. And that's just not a joke. That's just being a dick.
All right, well...
but there's a difference.
Okay.
I'm all about... I will take almost any amount of shit if there's a joke involved. There was a lot of shit today where there were no jokes involved.
By me saying you can depend on me that I'll be here? That's me being a dick to you?
Do you think it's funny?
Well, I didn't think it was intentionally being an asshole to you. I think maybe you got pissed off at Howard, number one, and then as usual, everybody piles on, and I'm the new guy piling on, and it's easy to put the blame on me.
I'm not blaming you. What you said is, listen, Gary can't be dependent on, but you can depend on me. I'll be here.
No, that's what your boss said. Can I depend on you to be here? And you said no. And then I just jumped in and goofed.
And then a couple of times after that, you unsolicited volunteered. I'll be here tomorrow.
I'm just busting balls, Gary. I mean,
and I'm
that's
just
all.
saying.
Okay, and if you want to be mad at me for it, I understand. If you want me to apologize to you for making jokes, then I don't know what we're talking about here. You're just telling me you're pissed that I'm a dick.
But do you think that you could just do that in there and walk out and everyone should go, oh, it's just a show?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm pissed at you.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
Okay.
Now, Ronnie, you go.
Fuck him.
Now, Ronnie, you were really pissed off today at Shuli, but I forgot why.
No, what do you mean really pissed off?
Like you were genuinely
like Gary's
angry.
really pissed
Yeah, well,
off.
no, he said that I'm here. I've been here with everything, through every fucking thing you could possibly think of, blizzards, fucking 9/11, everything else, and this guy to come in and start ranking on me now, because I'm not sure if I can cross a fucking bridge tomorrow. Shut up, John. I'm not talking to you. Don't even open your mouth. I see you going for the microphone. Mind your business.
That's John Lieberman he's talking to.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, you.
So you're upset with Shuli because he questioned your professionalism?
Yeah, you know what?
Dedication.
Yeah, I got a house too that I got to worry about. I got.
So do I.
You don't have a house.
I have a 2-year-old. I have a two. Excuse me. It doesn't matter whether it's a fucking apartment or a house. The odds of something getting flooded and shit falling and trees falling are just as much a reality for me as it is for you guys.
That's your decision.
And I made my decision.
Okay, good.
And if I want to comment on it,
and if you weren't sitting in on the show this week, you wouldn't be fucking worried about it. You'd
that's
be
your
home.
opinion.
You
That's
would
your
be
opinion.
home.
You don't
would be
know
home.
that.
Oh, I know it.
Oh well,
then get
you
off
know
my
it.
case.
No.
All right, then don't tell me to get off your case. All right,
never.
John Lieberman, what do you want to add to this?
Well, Ronnie took the words out of my mouth. I mean, Ronnie brought up the fact that he believed that Shuli would not come in today or tomorrow if he weren't in studio. So, Shuli, the question is, would you be here if you weren't in studio, if you were simply reporting the news?
Here's what changed my mind. Here, I was torn yesterday about whether or not to come in because the reality of it is I would have been out.
Why were you torn, by the way?
Because I know I wouldn't be able to get back home most likely until Wednesday, maybe even later. And I got a wife who's sick. I got a kid, 2-year-old, who's sick.
Screw him.
And they're getting ready to face, blackouts and who else? What else? So I said, listen, I don't know what to do. I called Tim. I said, what do you think I should do?
Don't stay with your sick wife and kid.
And Tim said, listen.
Be smart. Go to a hotel room.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not JD, Jason. They're going to work here. But so I said to him, what do you think I should do? And he said, well, Howard said he's working. As soon as I heard that, decision was made. Done deal. I said, if Howard said he's working, I don't want to be on that list of people who don't show up.
But hey, Shuli, first of all, I thought you were very funny today on the air.
Thank you, Jay.
But
I didn't say he wasn't funny.
I mean, I can understand why people are upset, but hey, listen, I understand.
I think
If anybody does.
He was funny today. I just thought there were times when he wasn't being funny, and it just seemed vindictive.
But how are you going to feel if you get a call tonight at the hotel, 1 a.m, a tree branch fell through the window, the baby's crying, I can't stop, I'm scared that there's so much noise going. Like, how are you going to feel?
It'd be terrible. It'd be terrible, Jason. I don't know what I would do. I would try everything in my power to get back home and to help them any way I could.
But see, that's why I can't. That's why I can't stay in the city tonight.
And I understand, and I'm not knocking you for it at all. I'm not knocking any of you guys for going home.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you did.
No.
You knocked me on the show.
But Gary, during the show.
Shuli wouldn't have been here unless I called him yesterday and told him to come in, right, Shuli?
That's not. Excuse me, Tim. Excuse me. Nobody was mentioning anything about fucking work tomorrow and whether or not people were coming in. So I called you and I said, I sent you an email. I said, are we getting rooms or is it every man for himself? I didn't tell him I'm not coming in. So
hey,
don't
Tim,
come in and say that.
Tim, what did I ask you when we got? Tim sent me an email
You said, is Shuli coming in?
No,
because if he comes in, I'm in.
What I said was, Tim sent the thing about the hotel.
I
And
heard
immediately
if
right
Shuli
back,
comes
I
in,
go,
the whole world has to be here.
are you covering meals? And Tim wrote yes. And I said, all right. Well, then I'm in.
Oh my God. Jason goes, I assume this means transportation and meals.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. I was just outside. You would never know there's going to be a hurricane.
Wow.
Holland
It's called the
Tunnel.
calm before the storm.
But it's coming.
Breaking Holland
what they
Tunnel
close?
is closing at 2.
Oh, we gotta go.
Brooklyn Battery Tunnel closing at 2.
Hoboken closing at 4.
So it would be fair to say that Letterman would be 99% not doing a show today, correct?
Well, we wouldn't have. First of all, his show can't go on without guests, so I don't know who he's having on.
I think his show could go on without guests.
Have they ever done one without guests?
I think he's capable of it if need be.
If nobody can get there, then yeah. I mean, if the bridges and tunnels are closed, then there's nothing anybody can do unless
Sources
they're already
are
in the
saying
city.
all bridges and tunnels will be closed by 4 o'clock today.
So what happens?
Sources.
So what happens? I set my alarm for the same time I do every morning, and I get up tomorrow morning at 4:15, and the first thing I do is I go on the internet, if I can get internet at my fucking house.
Right, your power's up. Good.
But I have a generator, and I see that the bridges and tunnels are still closed. So I now physically can't get in. It's not a matter of would I like to, do I want to brave it? I'm not going to be able to get in.
So what do you do?
Well, what do you think will happen? Do you think that
Nothing will happen. Here's what's going to happen.
No.
Nothing's going to happen. The radio show will go on if Howard's here. And if he's not here, the radio show won't go on. Like that's what's crazy. It's a radio show.
Actually,
Howard's not going to fire you.
Jason, hold
Nothing's
on.
going to happen.
I know.
Hold on, because Tim's here. Tim, you can answer that question. If the bridges and tunnels are closed tomorrow, what happens?
Well, we have the opportunity to use our ISDN
No.
lines.
I'm saying, what if Howard says, I can get in, whoever else can get in, fuck it. But what if nobody else can get in?
And what if the power's down so his ISDN doesn't work?
Then he won't be able to communicate.
But what if he wants to come? What if Howard comes in tomorrow and it's he's the only one here?
Then he's got it. He said it today on the air. He's like, if I'm the only one here, I'll do the show. So that's up to him at that point.
Yeah.
Brad in Arkansas, you're on the wrap-up show.
It's just me here. I think Gary's a little overly sensitive. The last week or two, it's kind of a gray area for Shuley when he gets on, you know. Hey, say what you want, but don't piss Gary off, you know.
No, Shirley pissed a lot of people off, and I'm not telling him to stop doing it, but if you can go on the show and say, listen, I used to get mad at Jackie, and I used to get mad at Stuttering John too, as they did at me when I would fuck with them.
As much stuff as you and I have done for Shuley, revenge is a bitch, Shuley.
What?
Right? Jesus.
It's also a shitty show on Wednesday nights on ABC.
As long as we're all beating up on Shuley. One thing I did as a fat guy, I took offense to this, that Tim took you out to a meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you
trashed
paid
him.
for it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you turned around on him. And
Yeah.
see, like I think as a fat
First of all,
guy, if
did I
someone
not
pays for
offer
me,
you money out of my pocket for my cheesecake that I ate?
did.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Number one, I'm not a total schnurr, all right? And my job as a reporter and to bust people's balls on this show is to monitor everything this fucking guy orders and puts down his gullet.
By the way, that is a page directly out of the Stuttering John handbook. You could pay $1,000 in the champagne room at a strip club, and he'll make fun of the socks you wore and the tip you gave.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's Gary Delabate, Baba Booey. Tuesday's wrap-up show was a very special wrap-up show because I wasn't here, John wasn't here because of the storm. None of us were here. You might have heard about that. I did it from my neighbor's phone at home. John had some sort of weird ISDN line set up. Some people were here in the studio, so it was very interesting. This is what happened.
So, rough morning for you, Gary, and I'm not talking about the weather.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting thing. I thought, you know, I left everything in good hands. I did not go to sleep last night with the idea that I was not coming in this morning. I knew that it was a distinct possibility, but I thought I'd make every effort. So I was up at about 4:15. Tim and I spoke a couple of times, and I got a hold of Ronnie, and Ronnie said, "Don't even bother. The bridges and tunnels are closed. There's no way that you're getting in." And so now I'm trying to figure out a way to listen to the show because I should point out, I have no internet, no telephone. I am calling from my neighbor's house right now, who for some reason is the only person in the neighborhood with a hard line. I have a lighting system in my house which blew up last night and, you know, sort of smoke in the basement. So I don't really have lights on the first floor. But listen, I have a generator. I'm in good shape. I get satellite TV. My refrigerator's working, and I can charge, you know, devices, but I can't really use much. So this morning was a whole thing about, like, well, how am I going to listen to the show? So what I ended up doing was listening to the show on Mary's iPhone because I needed my phone to be clear for calls coming in and out or texts or any of that stuff. And I was having a little trouble getting on, so I said, I'm going to go to the car. I actually went outside of my car and started up my car, took it out of the garage, and, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, well, he may open up, he may say a few words about it, but I will be honest, I was not prepared for a full hour.
Yeah, I mean, he unleashed on you in a lot of different ways, but one thing you and I were actually texting back and forth a little bit, Gary, was does Howard understand why somebody would want to be in their house with their family during this disaster? And it was a disaster. I mean, there's never been a storm like this here before.
Correct.
Yeah, listen, I feel like this is like butting heads. I feel like some people look at it like Gary's, you know, not going to listen to Howard. Gary's going to do what Gary wants to do. And it's not. It's not that at all. I wanted to be there this morning more than anything, but I also knew that last night was going to be scary, terrifying, and dangerous. And I had my wife and my son and the pets. I'll throw the pets in. And, and it was scary, and it was one of those things where, at one point Mary said to me, she turned around to me and she said, thank God you're here tonight, because if you weren't, I don't know what I would do. And, trees start snapping in the front yard, and that's scary. The lights start going off and on, off and on, off and on. And like I said, it blew out the lighting system. So then we smell smoke, and Mary's like, ready to call the fire department. I'm like, hold on. And so we weren't prepared to be without lights. So now I had to go look for all my I didn't really replace any of my flashlights because I know the generator will kick in. And so there were scary moments last night. Now, did a tree hit my house? No. Did anything bad happen to my family? No. But it's easy to look back on it now. My family was scared. I was scared for them. And that was really what it was all about.
Hey, Gary, can you see me or can just John see me?
Just John.
Okay.
Is the trampoline okay?
Well, I can't see you now, Benji. You got to move the iPad over a little bit.
Who cares, really?
But yeah, you're.
Benji, just sit down, write some stuff, and see if you can derail the conversation a little more.
Yeah, Gary, your trampoline took
My
a couple hits during
here?
the show today as well.
I know the trampoline was fine. It's funny that I'm humored by. You know what I mean? That's one of the things you sort of bring up as an afterthought. You don't think it's going to get as much traction. I mean, I got tweeted thousands of flying trampoline pictures yesterday. Some of them I was photoshopped into, and I thought all that stuff was funny.
Hey, people were wondering, do you actually use a trampoline?
No, Betsy, my kids did at one time, but then you get to a point where they don't use it, and then sometimes the neighborhood kids use it, and then you get to a point where you just don't want to get rid of it, but you should, and that's where it is right now. I'll probably get rid of it this summer.
And, we mentioned it on our weather show last night. Gary's Trampoline has its own Twitter handle now.
See, that's funny to me. That's funny. You're goofing on the stuff that I do and everything, but that's funny. But somewhere along the line, and this is what I was trying to say this morning. First of all, the phone lines this morning were horrendous. I was the first one. I should have waited until somebody tested it out. It was just horrendous. And what was happening was every time I spoke, it literally like a quarter of a second later, it reminded me of trying to make a long-distance phone call in the 60s. A quarter of a second later, I would hear my voice, and when Howard would speak, I would hear his voice. So it got to the point when we were both speaking, I was hearing four voices at once. But the point I was trying to make this morning is, Howard said I attacked him yesterday, and I felt I got very defensive. There's no doubt. Maybe I lashed out, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like I was attacking. I felt like I was defending myself, my work ethic, and my family, and it was a weird thing. And when I said to Howard, again, with Shuli in there and Robin in there, the truth gets bent to a place where it's almost unrecognizable. When I said to Howard, I was like, listen, Howard, I don't have people at my house. I don't have a second house. I'm not in the same situation as you. It became Gary is an angry, jealous asshole. Like, especially today, Shuli's like, oh, Gary jumped on that really fast. And it was like, that just wasn't what it was. And John and I spoke to John briefly this morning. John, I've been out to Howard's house, a ton of times. And I've told John about some of the things that I've done out there, and I harbor not an ounce of jealousy. And I can tell you that, when Howard used to do this rap about Jackie, Howard was right. Jackie used to count every little thing that Howard had. That's not my thing. In fact, I look at, it's funny, like, I'm so happy in the place that I live now. And Mary and I remember the day we moved in, we looked at each other, we go, this is more than we ever imagined we'd ever have. And I don't get jealous when I go to other people's places because I'm so happy with what I have. So I wasn't saying, hey, you're the big bad boss. I wasn't saying, oh, you rich asshole, look what you have. I was saying, your situation is different than mine. I'm asking you, can you look at my situation?
Hey, JD, what was it like in there this morning without Gary, Jason, Will, me, all the people who are usually there?
It was a little nerve-wracking. First, I had to deal with the spots, like the live spot books, because they weren't. I didn't get any emails or anything about it, and then finally we were able to look up and see what the live spots would be, and then I had to find. Jim was able to print out the other copies of the spots, and and then just pitching stuff to Howard, and it was just nerve-wracking.
Can I give a big shout out to JD? JD and I went over all the pages yesterday. And I went to, we haven't played this. We played this once. I know he liked this. He hasn't heard this yet. And I don't know what you did during the breaks, but I know what I heard on the air, and you did an amazing job of getting the stuff to him. So thank you.
Hey, Gary, it's John.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Well, which part?
The forecast.
Oh, of course. Yes,
All right.
yes, you're good. You're excellent. You did a good job. Thank you.
Was Steve?
You did, though. He did. I mean, yes, you got it right.
Was Steve Brandano getting comfortable in Gary's chair? I heard him chime in a couple times over the.
Brandano started the morning with a Diet Lemon Snapple, a can out of Gary's refrigerator, treating himself to a drink that he says he hasn't had in 7 years since he's been
I said
here.
that would be my one shot at Gary for the whole day, because you know how it is around here with Howard TV and everybody in the news. Like they want you guys to be like, oh yeah, no, I can do this. I can do this without Jason and Will and blah blah. All I did was have my Diet Snapple, and then I think we ran a pretty good show after that.
I felt for Steve when I heard the part where Howard got mad at you about the phones, and I know what it's like. I knew. Tim and I spoke at 4 o'clock this morning. There's not to get into it, but 3 of the 5 units that you need were down. We were trying to reroute calls this way, and you really have no say or pull over anything, Steve, except to relay information to Howard. You don't really know what to do, and I know that you were doing your best to put calls up, but at one point he's like, all right, this is enough, and then he was getting mad at you, but there's not much you can do.
Yeah, I felt for you with the, I don't know, just seeing how it goes, where you're relaying other people's messages, and you're the voice that's going to get yelled at when things go wrong. But Gary, where one of the things at the end of the show there, when he asked me to talk to Jimmy, I was like, oh, that's where one of Gary's skills is. You know exactly what Howard means. Howard said to me, yeah, go ahead, call Jimmy, find out if there's a show tonight. So I thought that meant call Jimmy, find out if there's a show tonight. So I did, and I was expecting to go back in and either say, yeah, I talked to Jimmy, he says the show's on, or and thank God I left him on hold, because we were able to eventually get him up. Good work by Jim and Al and everybody. But and Teddy.
How did you get Jimmy to call in?
I know where that information is here.
Yeah, but I called him right away.
Yes, and I told Howard that. And then Howard asked me what's up with Jimmy, and I said, well, Gary's on it, and I haven't heard from Gary. And he said, no, I told you to do that. So that's when I did it on my own.
Right.
And the egg white sandwich, too, you're under pressure for that.
Yeah, we nailed that, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the thing with Jimmy, you're right. The thing, even listening to Jimmy on the air, there was no yes or no answer. So leaving him on hold was the right thing to do, and going in, doing it the right way. But I would have gone and said, hey, Howard, I got Jimmy on the line, and he might have gone, well, what is it, yes or no? And I would have gone, well, it's not that simple. And he'd go, okay, I'll pick him up. But listen, you guys handled it very well today. Hey, John, I wanted to ask, since we can't take phone calls, some of the people in the room, like from Benji, for instance, what were your thoughts on the stuff that Howard was saying about me today?
I was comparing it to I guess I was a little feeling pissed off about the shit you guys give me when I've been late a couple times. I totally understand it, because your house is like a fucking $1 million wallet just sitting there exposed if you're not there to protect it. So I understand your feelings, but
Benji, I would say that it was less. I wouldn't say it wasn't. There was nothing about my house, but it was more about my family than it was about my house.
What I didn't understand. Listen, I don't really care. It's it's not that big of a deal. But I don't have anger about it. I think it's between you and Howard. If Howard has anger about it, I don't have any anger about it.
No,
but if you, I didn't understand the whole thing. Why not just bring them into the city if it's about protecting Mary and Lucas?
Well, because it's all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's all of those things together, and I say this to you not in an insulting way, but you've never owned a home, and if you did, you wouldn't want.
No, that's why I said to me that's scary as fuck. Just I don't like to. It's like leaving a wallet out.
Well, it's not just it's not like it's a wallet.
No, I said $1 million wallet.
But I mean, yeah, you wouldn't imagine if a wire came down, right? Okay, so this happened a month and a half ago. A wire came down at the house across the street in the brush, and it started a brush fire. Now, we got the fire department here. It was a bright, sunny day. We got the fire department here pretty quickly, and they were able to put it out. So if that happened last night, and I probably couldn't get the fire department here, myself and a bunch of neighbors would be out with hoses trying to put it out. You know what I mean?
Well, Gary, 2 kids were killed last night. A tree fell into a house and killed 2 children.
The point I'm making is, Benji, is it's easy to say, even that guy who was in the email today said, hey, I've been in a lot of hurricanes in Florida. I don't have insurance, and so I had to stay with my house, which I don't understand that part either. Because just because I have insurance, doesn't mean that you should walk away from it, because, like I said, something small like that could happen that you could take care of, and I should not be here, so the whole house should burn down.
That's originally why I said it. To me, it'd be like leaving a $1 million wallet exposed.
Gary, do you regret not going in today? Do you regret anything really over the past 2 days?
Okay, I don't regret not coming in today, and I will tell you that, when last night, when all the stuff was happening in the house, between 6 and 7, Mary at one point looked at me. She goes, "I am so glad that you were here. I'm so glad that you didn't stay in." And this morning, she got up at about 7 o'clock, 7:30, and she could tell that I was visibly upset. She could tell that I was just upset. She said, "What happened?" I said, "It's yesterday, like times 100, and today I don't believe is kidding." I should point that out. Like, a lot of people hit me yesterday and said, "Hey, I thought Howard was kidding. It was just a bit for the show." But I think today there was no mistake. There was no joke involved. And I told Mary, I said, "I'm just getting hammered today. It's, I'm a disloyal scumbag." And she looked at me, and these big tears welled up in her eyes, and she said, "You know what? Nobody can tell you any differently. You did the right thing." So I didn't need her to tell me that, but it was great to hear.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, it was all about the hurricane, how everyone was responding to Howard and Robin wondering where the dependable people were. Ross Zapin thought Jason would take advantage of the opportunity. Richard was upset. A lot of people were upset. Tempers and tension running high, which makes for a good wrap-up.
A bunch of people are in here now from the show, and a lot of people are wondering where Howard really comes down on this, because some people were saying he's sending a mixed message. He's very, he wants to protect his family. He understands where everyone's coming from, but if you can make it in, great, but if you can't, we're going to go on without you. Do you think he's sending a clear message here, or what is everybody missing?
Yeah, I think the message is the show comes first. And hopefully people can deal with that. I don't know. I mean, he gave Gary a lot of crap, and you wonder, is it show shtick or is it real? But you brought up in the beginning of the show, would Howard, if he was in the situation that everybody else is, would he be here? I think he would. I think he's always done that through his career, no matter what the weather was and what was going on. The show came first, and I think it starts from the top and goes down for everybody else. But look, at the end of the day, everybody has to make their own choices. Jason made his choice to be with his wife and his cats, and everybody should feel comfortable. Hopefully, everybody's secure in their position. That if push comes to shove, that doesn't become a reason why there has to be a change. And I don't know. I have not spoken to Howard. I'm just giving you my
I'm
two
asking
cents
you because
to that question.
You're tight with him, but the uncomfortability, I think, comes from people here not wanting to let Howard down. I mean, that's really what it is. And ultimately, everybody here, I think, does whatever they can to get in. But if you physically can't get in here, or you make a decision, I should say, to leave and then possibly not come back, I think folks feel that's going to be held against you down the road some way.
Look, that's with anything, with disappointment. I mean, in a relationship, in a business and personal, look, when you let somebody down, you always wonder, like, in the back of your mind, is it going to come back to haunt you in some way?
Gary even said he feels like Howard thinks of him as less dependable based on what happened this week.
Wow, you do? I missed that.
Yeah,
you don't get that? You're not.
He
hearing
sincerely
that?
does.
Do you think any of this is a bit?
Yes.
Oh, I don't.
I think.
What part of it's a bit?
The dragging it on over and over and over and over again. I think he really has. I think there's a kernel of or more than the kernel of real feelings there. But if Howard looks at the guys who showed up, the quote unquote dependable guys, okay, you got two guys who have no families. There are no families here, right? Steve and JD, who got hotel rooms. You had Jim McClure, who lives in the same area-ish as Howard. You have Howard, who didn't need to leave anywhere. He lives in town. I mean, everybody that was here were people that lived in Midtown Manhattan and that could physically get to work, and two guys that don't have a wife or kids or anything back home that stayed at the hotel.
And Shuli. Because you got to put Shuli in a different category.
And
Shuli has a kid.
Well, and Shuli...
And lives outside the New York City, Manhattan.
Yeah. And Shuli is in a desperate situation. I mean, he's desperate for a job. He told me flat out that he left his house on Sunday with tears rolling down his eyes that he was leaving his wife and kid behind. He manned up and was able to do that, leaving a sick kid and his wife behind in Queens. You and I and Will made a different decision.
Yeah, I want to put one more thing in perspective, because I really don't want to dwell on the subject, but I want to put something in perspective. The storm, by the time we got up Tuesday morning, the storm had sort of passed. But the feeling was when I left my house on Sunday night with a bag packed, because I had not made the decision whether I was staying in or not, was that if you stayed in on Monday after 1 o'clock, the odds of you getting home before Wednesday were slim and none.
That's right. That's why everyone's in such a rush to get out of here Monday after the show.
It wasn't just like a couple of hours to go home and you could have come back. It was you were going to leave your family and your home for a good 48 hours.
Gary, if you could go back, would you change? Did you make a mistake, or
No.
do you stand by your decision?
I stand by my decision.
And one other point, going back to, you should always remember those shows and those times that Howard says, Gary's the best parent on this show. So I think, shtick and real life, I think you may get the benefit of the doubt, like deep down, he knows that your family's coming first.
I just see the face over your shoulder laughing at that statement, by the way.
No, but I'm not opposed. In other words, what Ross is saying, whether I'm the best or not, because that's what bothers Scott. I'm not opposed.
Sorry, I don't want to get in the middle of this one now.
I could already answer this. I know Scott well enough. What Ross is saying is, to say I care about my family, I'm not a poser. I didn't just pull that out for the storm.
Right.
Jason, on the other hand, and honestly, I think this was your chance to step up, but no one else around. I know I kept joking with Steve calling him Al Haig back there, but this was your chance. To be Gary. First of all, to get there when nobody was around, and it was your chance to really step up.
Well, Ross,
and show.
I'll tell you. I see every day as an opportunity to step up, and I've showed Howard what I can do, and he's promoted me and given me accolades every day on the air. Look, there was no way.
Territory, though.
This was part of the territory, and if Howard said, I cannot do the show without you tomorrow, I need you to be here, then maybe that would have been a different conversation. But
if he would have said that to you.
If he would have said that to me, he goes, if he said, I need you here tomorrow or we can't do the show, if you're not here for me, the show doesn't go on.
Right.
That would have been a different conversation.
But,
why?
But you heard him say, can I depend on you?
Right.
So if you're like next in line for the throne, why wouldn't you have heard that and said, you know what? I know this show will go on without me, but there is no, out of the 3 producers, I'm going to be the one to be here to be dependent on.
Because I'll tell you why. Because
he didn't specifically say, Jason, I can't do the show without you?
No. Well, listen. Let me. I'll answer all your questions.
Okay.
Just give me an opportunity to answer. If Howard had said to me, Jason, I literally cannot do the show without you, and I need you to be here. I'm not saying I definitely would have been here, but it would have been maybe a longer, more serious talk. My wife was not coming into the city. We were not leaving our house. I was not leaving my wife alone in an apartment with no electricity during the biggest... Hold on, can I finish my statement? During the biggest storm. Not just to protect her, but for me too. That's why I wanted to be around. I didn't want to be in a hotel.
You could have brought her into the city.
No, I couldn't. Hold on a second.
Why?
No, I couldn't. And I'll tell you why. Tim and Howard keep screaming hotel rooms. I would have had to bring my wife, our dog, our 2 cats to share a hotel room with Will, his wife, and his baby. Now, I'm not doing it.
I'm sure they would
Come on and do it. No,
but Will wasn't staying
No,
here.
hold on a second. Nobody knew who was staying where.
I was told I had to share a room with Will.
Tim did put it out. In fact, it was really funny because he said, you guys are bunking together. Who's bunking? And I sent out the note.
I don't know.
And I was almost going to say, like, John and I have to stay together.
So here's the deal. Will wanted to keep his family together.
Given,
then Will and Tracy and Owen would have had to come up into the city to share a room with me and my wife and my dog and 2 cats. And quite frankly, no, I'll be very honest. It was not worth it to come in to do a 4-hour radio show in the middle of a hurricane.
But
it was
Monday,
not.
that's different. Will was not coming in Monday. He was not going to stay in the hotel because the kid and all the deals. So
he came
why
in Monday
night would you not have went to the hotel?
No, we both came in Monday.
No, the
I know,
discussion
Scott's asking what was the determination that made you leave on Monday?
Because what you
could have
just
the room
said.
to yourself.
Oh, no. I didn't know I could for sure have the room. Will and I left together. I wasn't for sure I could have a room for myself, and at that point it was way too late. It was late. We left at 12:30 to get back to Hoboken, get packed, get everyone over
honestly,
there.
If you had if you knew you had your own hotel room, you would have stayed in the
And
city?
his wife and his cat.
If I knew I had my own hotel room, it would have been a much more easier conversation to go, hey, maybe we can move everybody in here.
Did you ever,
that was not the
Did you
option
ever think of
presented
going
to
to
me.
Tim and say, hey, look, I'd be open to having a discussion that if I can get my own room so I can have my wife and my cat and I don't know if you said dog, then is it worth the discussion that I can have that so I can be here for the show? I'm sure Tim would have found a room for you.
Or would
he
have
didn't
been
have that discussion with me.
looking back,
or with Gary, or
Jace,
with Steve.
Looking back, would have been worth it for you to say to yourself, "Hey, I'll just get a fucking hotel room and I'll shine that day."
No, trust me.
He made
for
the
somebody
decision.
for somebody who's constantly being accused of being a kiss ass, my answer is very consistent here, regardless of whether Howard or Robin are mad or not mad at it. Nobody was coming into the city. The city was a more dangerous place to be than where I was staying. I was in a very high point in Hoboken. Hoboken is a disaster area, except in the 3-block radius around my house. And I wasn't going to leave my wife there by herself. And I wasn't going to be separated from my wife during the middle of that storm when the power goes out and everything. And if I had internet access and I could see what was happening in Hoboken, because I just saw the pictures today, I'd be my heart would be ripped out of the chest. I couldn't do it. Maybe Shuli's got a stronger constitution than me. I don't know what to say. He wants wants it more. I
Or he's
don't know what to say.
Well, hold on. Let's move off this because Richard's here. We'll get back to it. But Richard, of Doug, Gary, Scott Salem, everybody, it seemed like Howard said he was most disappointed in you. And you try to explain the rain and how you were dealing with that, but Robin and Howard really didn't seem to really want to hear that.
Well, he seems like he's disappointed in me a lot of times, whether I'm here or not.
By the way, I think if you got me, Doug, Richard, and Scott in here, each one of us would individually tell you that we thought he was most disappointed in us.
Well, hold on a second.
I would say me, Doug would say Doug, Richard would say Richard, and Scott would say Scott.
But see, I don't think he was most disappointed in me because I think he thinks I'm kind of retarded anyway, so I don't think he was surprised.
Well, Robin really lit into you today. She was fired up from the get-go, but you in particular felt the wrath. Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I said the wrong thing and made her angry. And
well, that was what I wanted to.
That's why I planned. I'm sorry, Gary. I planned on just going and say, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not going to argue. I tried a little bit to defend myself, and it backfired.
But I was going to sort of get into that, shifting gears a little bit. Early on, Robin asked Howard at like 6:05, what about Gary? And he goes, you know what? It's enough, whatever. And Robin seemed to want to talk about it more than when Doug came in, they spoke about it. But Robin, I would say, seemed angrier about it than Howard.
I agree.
Even to the point where she said, you should hear what I say about these people off the air.
Well, Robin has said about me before, and I'll never forget this. She said one time, nobody would care if I died.
Wow.
And so it's like
nice.
I'm not I'm used to being ripped into by her.
But the thing that was getting lost there was, she was saying whether, why would you leave your family in a dangerous place? And I would say that's not the same situation. I didn't leave my family in a place where they could die. I left them in a place where there was some danger going on. I didn't think they were going to die.
Protect them.
Where I could protect them, but Robin was just so angry.
A lot of venom, just venom.
And she does not see that money does play a part in this. Like, us wanting to protect our houses is very important to us. Maybe it's not to her. Maybe she's got enough money to.
Yeah, why not? Let's let it
it
get washed out to sea. She'll just buy another one.
Well, they kept saying to me that all my stuff is junk. What does it matter?
And by the way,
it gets ruined.
And by the way, because Robin really, I don't think she understands what relationships are like, considering she hasn't really been in a real relationship in a long time. So let me explain something about what it means to protect your family. No, I couldn't do anything if a tree crashed through my roof. Okay, I couldn't do anything. What I could do is be there and hold my wife's hand when the power went out, and to be the guy that says everything's going to be fine when I knew everything might not be fine. Robin has a lot of opinions about how people should protect or not protect their loved ones. You know what, Robin? Why don't you find a loved one and then you can tell us how to protect her?
All right, Jason, calm down a little bit. He's got some venom in it too. But I said this on the air yesterday. I'm going to say it again. There's a period of time during the storm where you could hear a tree snap in the front yard, where the lights flickered off and on, where I heard pop, 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 because the modules on my computer lighting blew up and started smoking, and Mary wanted to call the fire department. And exactly what Jason just said is what I was there for.
Man.
Okay? They were never in any danger, but I think had I not been there, I was doing a lot of things that I knew I could look at it and go, I think this is what it is. She couldn't. And so she wanted to call the fire department. I'm thinking, call the fire department. This is the last fucking place they're coming.
Right.
There's an actual fire going on down the block. So what I could do is comfort her, and that's what I was there for.
She kept saying, why would you stay home? Why would you stay home? If it's so dangerous, why would you stay home? Where else is everyone going? Everything it said that if you're not in a flood zone or an evacuation zone, the safest place is at home.
No, but her
and you
point,
stay with your family.
But
Doug, why weren't you in? She questions, and what are you going to do for your family? Well, when the power goes out and I have two little kids who are scared shit, you need a parent for each of them. You don't want them running around the house. But again, like Jason said, she wouldn't know this.
Her point was that you had on Monday, you had time to bring your kids in to do what
Why would you bring your kids to the city?
I'm just
to a place that is basically a quarter
stating her
flooded.
point. I'm not
it's
saying
a
I
moronic
agree with
statement
it.
and
Hold on.
offensive and
Why did
dumb.
John get off here? No one ever said about John.
Why did John wasn't here?
What's my call?
Yeah, why were you home yesterday?
Because I wanted to be with my family.
Oh, what are you going to do to be with your family?
And I made that decision.
But John,
your kids are older.
Hold on.
Yeah, your kids are in college.
What everybody's getting at is, do you think that that it was?
Yes, I think Robin's holding them.
Do you think that Robin didn't understand? Do you understand why you wanted to be in your home?
Do I understand? Yes. The point.
So why do you think she did?
Pretty clearly, no. The point I'm trying to make is this: Robin was saying, if a tree falls and you're there, what are you going to do? So why not, if you have the means, why not be in a hotel with your family, quote unquote, safe, and then whatever happens to your house happens? My take on it is, I'm not leaving my house. I want to be there with my family.
Most normal people
and
think
I want to be in the house. If it goes down, I'm there for
You
that.
go down with your
and
ship.
I'm there
and
with my family.
If her ship
And-
sinks, she could buy another one.
But that's
we
not,
can't.
But that's not fair.
That's not fair.
And that's really not fair.
Well, why is that not fair? Hold on a second.
Because
Forgetting the rich.
I'm talking about my situation.
Right.
I'm talking about my situation. So I said yesterday, the people across the street from me, the power went off and on, off and on, off and on, and they had like a little flame spit out of their electrical outlet, and then all the surge protectors melted. Now, if that could have turned into a small fire.
Yeah,
If I
absolutely.
wasn't home, my house would burn down. If I am home, I have a way to put that fire out. That is a perfect example of why I wanted
Well,
to stay
I
home.
kept water from getting into my apartment. It would have ruined everything in our living room and our bedroom.
Oh, but your stuff is stupid.
But let's say, like,
but it's my stupid.
But let's say you're sitting in your house, you're with your family, you know the decision you've made, and nothing, very little happens. Do you then regret that decision? And the answer is absolutely not.
That's all hindsight. Again,
hindsight.
let Robin go take a ride around Jersey or somewhere. And again, I feel for her because her house is probably destroyed.
She told me that she
which
always
is
wanted.
horrible.
She told me she always wanted bay and ocean views, and she's pretty sure she has both now.
I think it probably is.
But can I just the point I was trying to make before, because I lost my train of thought, was at the end of the day, especially from Robin. I can't say this about Howard, but from Robin, I think she was trying to paint us as a bunch of people who were looking for any opportunity to take a free day off, and I don't think that represents any person in this room.
Absolutely not.
And I worked at home too.
And-
Howard was saying,
Yeah, I
"What
worked
did
at
you
home,
do?"
too.
I did work at home that made it onto the air Monday and
I got up
Tuesday.
at 4 a.m. yesterday. I logged the show until my app and phone ran out of power, and that log is now in our database.
But we've
worked.
I've worked with people who are like, I've worked with people who have used everything from religious holidays you've never heard of, like All Saints Day,
Like Scott Salem.
Well, but even other than that,
Yom
but
Kippur.
I've worked with people in other
Yom
jobs who
Kippur.
have used lots of crazy excuses to get days off.
It's Tisha
We don't
B'Av.
get that here. Right? We don't get that here.
Well, how about I said
And John, you worked on, I mean, you're not super religious, but you worked on a pretty holy holiday
Well, me
that you
too.
would have taken
Well,
off, right?
Today,
All of ours Tuesday.
today is a religious holiday for me,
Right.
Halloween, and I'm here.
we were hitting Robin a little bit there, but
Jason was.
Well, I think but is that anger misplaced? Like, Doug, you went in there today. You weren't pissed at Robin. You were pissed at Howard.
I was annoyed at the whole situation. I just felt I was attacked because I passed on and followed directions given directly to me by the company. And the plan was to not send anyone in. No one could go in was the mandate. I fought it, and they were comfortable with 3 guys, or it was more if they were more in New York, who can come in. So I got the show up and running. And we didn't cut a daily show. We have no power. We have our servers down. So I couldn't do anything differently than if I was here at home. I listened to the show. I took notes. I know what we're doing. Nick was at home logging the show. So everything sort of happened remotely, and I made it happen. But no, I get the shit kicked out of me because it's more fun. I get it. I don't know if it was a bit. I sort of felt like Gary, like it became genuine feelings. And it was like fury. I'm glad I didn't call in yesterday. Thank God, because I was on fire yesterday.
But by the end of the segment
I would've sounded
today,
like Jason.
you were apologizing. You were
Because it's like, I think he had a little bit of a flip where he was sort of apologizing back to everyone, saying,
He was
I
just
think
trying
he
to get
sort
you out
of
of there.
flip-flopped a little. Yeah, well, good. Well,
It is. I have to
counterpoint
say,
might hurt then.
Monday, I listened to the show from home, and there's nothing as frustrating as hearing Howard talking about you.
Oh,
and
my
you're
God.
going, no, that's not right.
Well, that was that crappy phone call I made yesterday. The line was so bad, and I'm trying to talk to Howard.
Oh, it's even worse, I think.
It was worse. But we should talk about, because Scott DePace and I were just talking about this a little bit. So yesterday, after the storm is sort of over, I realized at about 11 o'clock, holy shit, I got to get out of this neighborhood for tomorrow, because no way, if I don't make it on Wednesday, I am fucked.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go in front of my house and you're going to make a right, there are 3 large trees down like 30 yards apart. There's no way I'm getting out that way. So I found out the other way I can get out to go deep around. The only thing blocking me is this low-hanging wire, right? Now, a couple of people have touched it. A couple of people, they said it's not live, but still. And I can't go unless I get my car under this wire. So at one point, I got Lucas, got a big branch with like a Y on it. You know what I mean? And like Lucas held it up while I went under. And Mary goes, "You're like the worst father ever." She's like, "How do you know they don't turn the wire?"
Yeah, we're using that next time you see
Gary,
us.
So if that branch was wet, it
hurts,
explodes.
I think that hurts your best parent on the show status here.
I was with a couple of my neighbors, and we sort of knew that they were helping as well.
Now,
too.
on the flip side, Gary, what if you did that and it turns out, God forbid, you got injured or the car exploded and you died? And then how does Howard feel because
Yeah,
he
wait,
knowing
really,
he put
that's
that
not his
pressure
fault that
on
I
you? Well,
was
he
trying
put
to-
the pressure on you to get you in.
Be-
you know in your heart.
Be honest.
That you didn't want to come in.
Would Howard do that? Would Howard go under that wire?
No.
No way. Would Howard? I went under a tree that literally there were branches gonna hit my window and stuff, and if one of those branches caught wrong and the tree ended up falling on my car, I was dead.
Mary and I were fighting all last night. We went out to dinner, and I had to go under tons of trees that were like that. And at one point, she's like, "Don't go into the tree." It means that everyone's going. It's the only way you can get through. I said, "The tree's not going to just fall like it is. You're going to hear it crack, and we can put, I could gas it and get out of it."
Yeah, we had the same. I was like, "How am I going to get here if I don't go under the tree?"
Well,
You know
hold
what I
on.
mean?
Well, I had to spend $70 on a cab getting in today. That's like a tree falling on me. That was expensive.
Hey, Mike, you also incurred some wrath early this morning because of something that you tweeted, and Howard made a point to remind you why you're here, you have a job, etc. Did you get his message loud
Let me
and clear?
remind him why I'm here. I'm a producer and an editor for Sirius XM Radio. When it comes to raises, when it comes to anything to do, that he should be involved in, we work for Sirius. We don't work for Howard.
Mike, I'm gonna help you here. Seriously, I think you're a good guy. I think Doug doesn't work for Howard and works for Howard. Do you follow? Like Doug
I
works
work for Howard.
We do.
You work for Indomit, but at the
I
end
work
of the
for
day,
the licensee of Howard's
We do, but Will was complaining last week, Howard doesn't know me. He doesn't know a lot about everyone here. I have a kid in one of my 2 apartments that I care for 3 nights a week. My concern was getting from this job, at 5 o'clock on Monday when the storm is beginning, to the Bronx, back to Washington Heights to my house. I got to worry about other things than just this job. And granted, nobody on the air knows, Mike may have a kid at home.
I think probably if I could give you one piece of advice, we've all voiced that here saying, hey, we wanted to be with our families. I think that's what you're saying, somebody who's like a family to you. I think that when you keep it in-house, and you could talk to Howard, that's fine. When you start tweeting it, it looks like...
So I'm going to get rid of my Twitter then. I'll get rid of my Twitter.
Well, you don't get rid of your Twitter. I'm just saying that you should...
judgment. It's a judgment call.
Gary, let him get rid of his Twitter. Let him. If he's going to get rid of it. Mike, and you know this, I like you, and I've talked to you many times about how I feel you on Twitter is going to get yourself in serious trouble to get you fired
That's
from
your
here.
opinion. That's fine.
Well, that is my opinion, and I've shared it with you. And I think if Gary is encouraging you to get rid of the Twitter
No,
account,
I think it's
you should.
fair to say if we keep it. I'm saying it's fair if we keep it in our universe. Meaning, Howard will yell at me, but if Howard were to go on Kimmel last night and say my producer's the biggest fucking asshole in the world, that's sort of out of our universe. It's not really
But
fair.
let me ask you one question, Gary. As the executive producer of this show, could these shows that were done Monday and Tuesday not have been done on a Thursday and Friday of any week? Could they have not been replaced?
Shows can be done any day, but it's Howard's determination what he wants to do and when he wants to do it.
Well, the answer is no. Yeah, because it was a day and date at that point. It was like he wanted to be.
Maybe I missed the question. What was the question?
No, Mike, I think the bigger point there, though, is that it's Howard's show.
Right.
If he
I
wants to
think
do 5 a week or none, that's his call. It's the Howard Stern show that we all work
It's not a
Sure,
democracy.
but if we can't get in to help him with that show, we shouldn't be ridiculed and slammed and insulted.
Assaulted?
Well, then I don't
Insulted, not assaulted.
Oh.
Insulted.
He said assaulted.
He said insulted. And that's fair for you to say, here, I would just not do that. Because then Howard could take this tape, play it back on Monday, and have a dialogue with you. I would keep off of Twitter. That's my recommendation.
I will.
Mine too.
Last night, the police knocked on his door, told him it was a mandatory evacuation. Of course, him and his wife ignored it, along with a bunch of other neighbors, because it's a high rise. So he feels he's high enough off the ground to not worry about flooding. And then and the shelter is far away. And I'm thinking, like, shelters are for people who have nowhere else to go. Yeah. Like, Richard has friends. Richard has friends. Okay, so then there's that. So he goes, I'm afraid if I leave, they're not going to let me back up. And I said, they're absolutely not going to let you back. Of course they're not going to let you back up. And I said, why did you go and stay with friends? He goes, well, the shelter's far away. So he goes, we didn't want to leave our pets. So I started thinking, pets, the dog, the cat, no, the fish and the gerbil.
And I offered him a hotel room to stay in the city.
But I'm like, but I really don't think he's.
So what did he end up doing?
Well, he won't leave. He's at the house. He goes, I can't leave. I'm not leaving my wife here alone. He goes, I can't get back in.
Such a bullshit artist.
I don't know if it's bullshit or if he's stupid.
If Tim offered him a hotel.
I didn't know that. Well, we offered everybody a hotel room.
Yeah.
Let's go. Where's your Storm now? Fuck you, Storm. Let's go right now. Come on, everybody left. Everyone abandoned. The government can't go. Nobody. I'm here. Let's go right now.
You're the only one who can make it into work.
I'm the only one. We're off every day except during a storm. Some guy on Twitter, I go, we're definitely doing our show tomorrow. We don't care what the weather is. This guy goes, you're an asshole. You're always out, and now you're here for the storm. I go, well, gee, I'm glad I made the effort. Well, as you know, all broadcasting has been shut down. We are the only ones left. Today is a live broadcast, and we have over 100 million listeners because everyone wants to be a part of this. Who's that coughing? Fred?
Yeah.
What's the matter,
Must
man?
be a dust ball in here or something.
The weather getting to you?
No, just dust.
Oh.
What mic are you on, Shuli? Or did Scott not make it in?
No, I'm right. Well, I don't think Scott made it in, but I'm right here.
Scott didn't make it in? That's a surprise.
I can't.
It's either work or bowl.
Any excuse I can find.
He could make it to bowling, but he couldn't make it to work.
This is a Jewish holiday. I made one up.
I don't want to embarrass my family. Hey.
I have to sandbag my head.
Oh, you're on that mic. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
right here.
Got it. Shuli joining us this morning. Thrill of his lifetime.
He could get in.
Oh, everyone can get in if they want to. It's absolutely pleasant outside today. I don't know when this big storm is coming, but, I'm one of...
Well, they keep promising that it's going to start raining in Manhattan shortly, they keep
Well, let's
saying.
go. Let's
And
have
then
it.
they say that the afternoon commute, please come in, because the afternoon commute is really what they're worried about.
Half the people here who live in Manhattan were evacuated. It's a major mess. It's so funny, too. I'm like sitting at my computer last night, and I'm, making arrangements to be here, blah, 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 see who's coming in, what. Then all of a sudden I get a text from Doug Goodstein, who's in charge of Howard TV.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, the text was so bizarre. It was like, what did he say? How did he put it? He goes, Howard, Doug Goodstein here. All of In Demand is, like all the In Demand offices are closed for tomorrow. I think that's the message.
Okay.
So I think now I'm supposed to write him and alleviate his guilt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
you know him. He loves disasters, and he wants to be home with his family, running around with a camera and jugs of water and saving everyone. And
I have a 2-year-old and a wife. I left them last night.
Yeah.
Came into the city, got a room.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Well, it was ridiculous. So I know what that message means. It means now I have to spring into action and make a decision for him as to, all of the offices at In Demand. Now, first of all, what do the offices at In Demand have to do with us?
Right.
Nothing.
We still record the show.
Yeah, all he's got to do is press a record button.
Yeah.
He can't get here. So I was just like, you know what, Doug? I said, I go in, yeah, so? What do you want from me? He wants me to make a decision for him. And by the way, I don't want anybody putting themselves in danger getting in here if there's a real dangerous situation.
Sure.
But why don't you do what everyone else is going to do? Wake up and see if the weather's bad, and if it's not, come on in.
They called it early yesterday. They were not coming in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This was
before anything happened.
Yeah. Oh,
The buses and trains were still running.
Right. And Tim called me and said, we're doing the show, right? I go, of course we are. I said, we'll do the show as long as we can all get in. There's no big deal. And Tim said, yeah, I'll even get some hotel rooms for people. So, there was no reason Doug couldn't get a hotel room.
No, I came in last night. I don't understand this. Tim lives in the city and still got a hotel room. And stayed in the hotel. I think he didn't want to walk as far as he normally has.
Tim stayed in a hotel?
Tim stayed in the same hotel. First of all, I get to the hotel, and I see him in the front of the line at the front desk. He is so loud. He is so obnoxious.
Oh my God!
This woman, we go to check in. This woman runs up to the front desk because she got locked out of her room. And she runs up, she says, "Sir, can you please..." And Tim starts yelling full blown, hey, lady, I was here first. I was here first.
No,
he's smiling at her.
You're going to have a fucking heart attack.
I know. But I booked the rooms, and I had to use the room, so I used the room. Because
Why did you use it? Oh, so it wouldn't go to waste.
It wouldn't go to
Exactly right.
waste.
And what, you offered it to Doug Goodstein, right?
No, not to Howard TV. Howard TV has their own company.
Right. But what is his point? So In Demand is closed. Who cares? What is it? So he's not here today?
We're in media.
We're in media, and also there's nothing happening outside. It's absolutely no weather conditions that are preventing anyone from getting in.
This separates the men from the boys, right, Shuli?
It really doesn't. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Well, and also, I mean, the real test comes later today. Like, if shit starts shutting down, I think what they're doing is they're saying, well, I don't want to be stuck out here, so I'm going to just
but I
stay
mean,
home.
it's a job. I mean, you come in, you do it, and you go home.
Right.
Everybody here is risking being stuck. Everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
So, I don't know.
We're here doing the show. That's it. We're the only ones left.
Business is business.
Business is business.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I ate breakfast at home this morning. I usually get my breakfast here, but I'd heard everything's shut down, everything's closed. We wouldn't be able to get breakfast. Will got my breakfast. So Gary ate my breakfast because I had
You
my
already
breakfast,
had breakfast.
at home. And I'm like the most unprepared motherfucker. Everyone's running out yesterday getting jugs of water and egg. I have 3 eggs.
Let me, because I saw something in the paper about what you're supposed to have to be prepared for the hurricane.
I'm so unprepared. Like, I have an assistant and everything. You think I would have had like a couple of dozen eggs in the refrigerator?
Right, somebody should have got you some food.
And I came home, there were 3 eggs in the refrigerator.
Well, here's what you're supposed to have. 1 gallon of drinking water per person per day.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of bottled water.
Right, you usually have that around. Non-perishable, ready-to-eat canned foods.
I don't have that. I really don't.
First aid and flashlight.
I got that. Beth went out and got 2 flashlights.
Okay, so you did get that. Battery-operated AM/FM radio and extra batteries.
I got the internet. You know, I'm
No. That's like in case power goes down.
Yeah, power goes out. I got 10 hours on my iPad. That's enough.
10 hours on your iPad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to use all the 10 in a row. I'm just going to go on and check it. Although I got a whole bunch of movies and stuff on there, too, I'm going to watch.
I was just thinking you're going to wear out your battery watching shows and stuff.
Oh, I would go insane.
He'll be watching Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I would go insane if I don't have TV. Like, if I just don't want the power to go out. And like Robin and I were talking about this last night. What is this bullshit with the power going out? We're in New York. There's no power lines.
Right, I looked outside. There's no lines. The lines are underground.
You know what I was thinking, Rob? Maybe the power is like from upstate or something, and they ship it down here.
No.
Where's the power? Like, where does it start? Where does power start?
They have, what are they, converters or something? Those stations are right here that make the power.
Anybody know anything about power? Like, I realize there's so much in our world I don't know.
Don't know.
And I'll die. I'll live and have died and never know. Like, where's the power come from? Because as far as I can tell, let's say there's horrible winds.
Substations. That's what they said. Substations.
Yeah, but where are those substations?
They're right here, and they said that some of the substations might flood.
But where's the place?
Then,
but where's the place where the power is actually made?
Well, remember when that blackout happened and they were talking about, and that happened over a large portion of the country because there's a grid.
Hold on a second. Jason, you know anything about power?
Yeah, because I had the same thought you did.
Right.
And I looked it up. I'm like, well, I don't understand. There's nothing to get blown over. So how are we gonna lose?
Like, what's the problem?
So I guess if the ocean floods, underground and hits the wires, where I guess all our wires are underground.
The ocean?
Yeah, because the salt water.
Oh, that's right. This is like an island or something?
Yeah, we're,
I forget that sometimes.
So apparently the salt water just corrodes and ruins the wires, and it takes
short circuits everything.
Yeah,
I mean, are we really in trouble there? Like, I mean, we're so fucked up that like ocean is going to hit our wires.
Well, the ground will get wet.
The ground's going to get wet, and it's going to throw the whole thing off.
Yeah,
it's so fucking lame.
But there's a lot of vents and whatnot near, like, the East River, and it's like,
where is this place where the power is made exactly?
We actually buy power from like Ohio and all sorts of other places.
Right, that's what I was going to talk about, the grid.
It comes from thousands of miles away.
Now, how does it get here?
Through wires and grids. And
so
things
if
like
a line goes down, like in Jersey, would our power be affected in Manhattan?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
So where
but
are
then
the
again,
wires
it could go
that
out
are
in
above
Ohio
ground?
and fuck us up.
But Ohio, are they being hit?
No.
So what are we talking about?
Because the storm is actually going up that whole...
See, nobody knows
It's going
power.
up 95. It's not going to Ohio.
Are there wires on 95?
It's 1,000...
Everyone's mad all of a sudden because they don't know shit.
Fred's yelling. No.
Yelling.
Listen to me.
Robin's saying that it's not affecting that area. It's like going up to Wisconsin, for Christ's sake.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, look at the map.
Stop it.
See, a lot of times they think they shut stuff down to prevent damage, but meanwhile there is no damage.
But I heard this on the news yesterday that the substations are also underground.
Do you know anything about power?
No.
Oh.
No, but I just wanted to tell you how stupid this whole thing can be. I lost power this summer for 2.5 days.
It's ridiculous.
Because a squirrel went into a transformer and got fried, and it shut down 15,000 homes in my town for 2.5 days. It's insane. It's a fucking squirrel.
Wow.
But let me tell you, the substations
That's
they
like those
said could
ducks
get
that bring
flooded.
down planes.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, ducks that bring down planes?
Geese.
But they said the substations
Ducks.
could get flooded, and that would cause the problem.
Yeah. Well, that's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
But Fred thinks the hurricane's going all the way to Wisconsin.
It's a big storm. There's snow and everything. It's not necessarily going to get that
And we're
wind,
so
but it's going to get
unprepared.
rain and snow.
Beth has 2 boxes of spaghetti. Like, we have that. Like, we're just planning on this whole thing blowing over because...
Do you have iodine tablets?
No.
Or
No,
1 quart of unscented bleach?
I don't know.
To disinfect water?
I don't know.
Did you fill your tub? Because I heard somebody say that.
If you see me disinfecting water, just shoot me. It's fucking over.
Maybe I should fill my tub. I don't have a tub.
I know
You don't have a tub?
Well, Beth has one. I don't know. I have a shower, Mike.
Well, you got pots and stuff, right?
Yeah.
My wife was like, should we I mean, I took everything out of my yard yesterday. My garage looks like a
Yeah,
fucking
we did
yard.
that.
And she said, should we pull the trampoline in, right? We still have a trampoline. I said, if the trampoline blows away, we have a lot more to worry about. That, like, if the wind is so bad...
Yeah, but that could hit you into your house, that
it's,
trampoline.
it's way far away.
You should take it out. I'm telling you.
It's huge.
Yeah, but dude, that's the thing they're talking about. That's the kind of thing that could go through a window.
And it might not even go through your window. It might be a
Right.
neighbor's or... That's terrible.
Well, one thing I learned from that TV show Revolution, if the power goes out, the girls get hotter.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. There's tons of hot chicks just roaming the streets.
Well, I can tell you...
in skimpy outfits.
I can tell you, for me, I will guarantee you it's not will my power go out. It's for when
And
it will
how
go out, for how
long.
long. I expect to be out of power just based on storms like this. I have a generator now, but I expect to be out a minimum of 5 days and probably close to 10.
You probably won't be so bad. There's certain parts in Connecticut they power it up right away because you're in a wealthy section.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where it is. It's we have a lot of trees. All our wires are above ground.
Yeah,
and
you rich people have trees.
And it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Will be.
But
I
they
guarantee
power
you
them-
rich people with your trees.
But they
don't.
power them up first.
They don't, Fred. That's a
Now,
complete
if you look
lie.
at them, I was watching a map. My mom lives in a not rich section of Connecticut. You got it back like 3 days ahead of her.
I was out for 6 days with Irene. 6 days.
Debbie, the pet lady, wants to warn us about how dangerous today is. Let's see, maybe
Okay.
she knows something.
right.
Because she has birds, and birds will signal you when things are real. They
What
know
are her birds doing?
They all flew away.
They flee when they see a tsunami. They fly.
Yeah.
Debbie, do you know something?
Howard!
Hi.
You're not supposed to be in the show today.
Why?
Because there's a storm, you silly. The tornadoes, Sarah's coming.
Sarah's
Sarah.
Sarah.
And they're gonna they're
Sammy.
making everybody. All the transportation is shut down here. The schools are even shut down. So how are you at work today, knowing that the power can come lost? And
Well, I'll
you're in
tell
that
you what.
elevator going down or going up, you can get trapped in there when the power lose power today.
Well,
you know that?
I'll tell you, I don't care about getting trapped here. If I do, I do. I mean, it's fine. We got a lot of nice people here. We'll
All
hang
the
out.
transportation is all over there. How did you even get to work this morning?
I don't know. I made Ronnie drive me.
No, public transportation is out. Cars still move.
Everything is closed.
No, cars can still go.
Yeah.
Cars can go.
Look out your window. Give us an update.
Oh, it's okay. Let me go give you an update. Hold on.
Stick your head out. Yeah, let us.
By the way, this is an update from Crazy Town. Everybody loves it here.
Out there right now. The winds are so bad. I didn't get to take my pool down yet, and my pool's gonna get ruined now.
Oh, you have a pool?
You have a pool?
Yeah, I couldn't get it taken down. No,
It's America. She's got a pool.
I think she got a pool you can buy at like CVS or something.
rain. I went to New York. I was so scared.
See, people, the weathermen all scare people like Debbie the Pet Lady, and they panic.
No, because today, the whole news this morning, I woke up early at 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to take the puppy outside to walk it, and the wind was...
She's all worked up and nothing is going on.
Imagine if she was given the weather report.
Now.
Oh, here
She
you go.
should be the weather lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great weather lady.
I'd watch.
Like, Tim called me, he wants to do like a weather show here when we're, during the storm.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, get Debbie to do it.
Well, I think he's got High Pitch Eric is doing some stuff.
Yeah. You got to hear that. Here's High Pitch Eric on his Facebook page. Listen to him doing the weather. You got to hear this. This is great. I think he should be doing regular updates on Howard 100 News.
This is your meteorologist, High Pitch Eric. As you can see, I have the latest map here. As you can see, Hurricane Sandy is moving up towards the East Coast.
Oh, shit.
8 a.m. Sunday.
No, he's so gross. He's got saliva in his mouth.
I'm sure he doesn't realize that to be called a meteorologist, you have to have a degree. I think he just says if he calls himself one, he is one.
It'll hit Bermuda. After Bermuda, it'll hit up the East Coast by 8 a.m. Monday. By 8 a.m. Monday, it moves closer to the East Coast in Pennsylvania on Monday and Tuesday. So it's moving in the East Coast direction. I'll have more updates in a few hours. This is your meteorologist, High Pitcher Eric, with the latest on Sandy.
Thank you. I
Did
love
you say
it.
I'm Sandy?
On Sandy. Yeah, there's going to be a John Belaris weather special, and High Pitch Eric will be calling in with reports.
Can I talk about the phone call I got from Richard Christie this morning?
Yeah.
So I told Howard, I always wondered who the people were that defy a mandatory evacuation, but now I know one. It's Richard. So Richard calls me at 4:45 this morning to tell me that last night the police came to his apartment, knocked on the door, and told him he had to leave, to which he and his wife ignored it. Right? So when he went to leave this morning, they're not running the elevators. So he said, I'm afraid that if I leave, I can't get back in. He goes, I said, you're absolutely not going to get back in. And I said, why didn't you leave? And he said, well, the shelters were far away. And I'm thinking, I don't think shelters are for Richard. Like, Richard, he's got to know people.
He's got friends.
But the best part was he said he didn't want to leave the pets behind. So I'm thinking the dog, the cat,
a fish.
A fish and a hamster.
Was he 9?
I mean, yeah.
He's got a hamster.
Well, you know what's
so you leave the thing alone for
and
a
isn't
week?
the fish's name Fishy?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know something? Like, I didn't make it mandatory that people come in, but, Richard's one of those guys. Tim offered him a hotel room. He could have left with his wife.
Sure.
Enjoyed the hotel. And been here.
He said he didn't leave.
He's full of shit.
He didn't leave because they're so high up they wouldn't get covered in water. But I don't think that's what the evacuation isn't just about water. It's about if everything gets shut down, then he's on whatever floor.
Yeah, and then they got to worry about rescuing his fat ass. Debbie, you want to give us the update on the weather?
I think she's taking other calls.
Yeah, she's got like a whole weather center.
Home office.
She's freaking out about her above ground pool. Like, you could just dismantle that. It's not difficult.
Well, she didn't take it down before the wind.
Meanwhile, there's no wind out there now.
That's what she's saying. And she took the dog for a walk and there was wind.
The best is when those birds just all start talking at the same time.
Yeah.
And she flips out and starts
Debbie.
yelling.
Yeah, you have a lot of contact with her from the newsroom, right?
Oh, yeah. I at least once a week I have to call her and give her like a pep talk where I got to, bring her back from the edge.
Debbie. Well, I guess our weather correspondent is busy.
We can't rely on her if she's going to be like this.
She's alone in her apartment, yelling at no one.
It's the crazy alarm going off.
Yeah. What is that? What is that noise?
Is that a phone or an
It
intercom?
sounds like a phone.
It's a crazy phone.
Crazy line.
It's from the mental hospital they're calling. Oh, that's my mental hospital. That's a special ring they have.
I have a hotline.
It's like
No.
Batman used to have that red phone for the commissioner.
Right. Hello? Like she's in the middle of a conversation with us and
I
left.
think she's got like 50 phones.
She's taking down the pool.
Debbie.
Hurry.
I wonder what she's doing.
She told somebody to hurry.
She's talking to her pets, Gary.
She doesn't have people live with her.
I think what happened is this happened before when I talked to her. She
Yeah.
tried
There's
to,
the bird.
She tried to hang up, and she didn't hang up all the way.
Oh.
And so now this is just her and her environment.
She's got a dog, too?
Yeah. I think she's talking to the wall, though, right now.
But I think she forgot that she was supposed to be checking the weather and coming back to us.
Yeah. She's on to the next thing.
I think she's having a good conversation with a water pitcher. Right now.
Debbie. All right, I'm going to hang up. I give up.
She'll call back.
Yeah, so Tim was like, he calls me up yesterday in a panic, and he says, listen, I'm going to put you on a 3-way conference call with the engineering department. We have 3 contingency plans. I go, Tim, I don't want to speak to the engineering department. Just tell me what's on your mind. Okay. So, like
he wants to brief you.
Yeah, he's going to, like, people just have too much access to me around here. I tell them to call my assistant, Laura, if they have anything to say to me. She'll handle it. Because this conversation with Tim was a complete waste of time. So he goes, all right, here's the 3 plans. If you, in a complete disaster, you'll do the show from your ISDN line. We checked it. It works. I said, Tim, if it's a complete disaster, do you think I'm going to have power? Doesn't your building have a generator, an emergency generator? I go, no. No, it doesn't. There's no emergency generator in my building. How many buildings in Manhattan have an emergency generator? So
it would take a generator as big as a building to run it.
Right. So that plan was out. Then he had the second plan was, like, you just want to fucking bother me, dude.
No, I don't. Gary and I wanted to talk to you.
It was a complete waste of time. Your whole
wanted to give you
conversation. I said, Tim, here's the option. If it's nice tomorrow, I'll be in.
All right. Well, at least I was thinking about it.
If Ronnie can get me here, we'll get in. And I said,
and
all the staff's asking.
All the staff's asking.
Tell the staff. Why the fuck do we know? We don't have a crystal ball.
Well,
try and get here like I'm trying to do. And if you can't, don't put yourself in danger.
That's what I told him.
Yeah, but why are you bothering me at home? And why are you putting me on conference calls with fucking engineers?
It was with Gary.
With Gary?
Yeah, Gary and I wanted to talk to you. I told you.
Oh, my God, you guys just waste my time.
Sorry. I'll never call again.
Just assume I'll be here. And if I can't get there, I'll give you a call.
All right.
Holy mackerel. And you got to get that ISDN line set up? I go, if we're in the middle of World War III and it's the apocalypse, you really think you think I'm going to have power and everyone isn't?
The world wants to hear from you, Howard.
Yeah. Oh, you're so annoying.
I'm sorry.
God, you were annoying the shit out of me yesterday.
Really?
No, you handled yourself great. You got a couple of hotel rooms. That's it.
I care. I want everyone to.
Christie is a fucking retard.
At least someone cares around here.
Yeah. No, I know. I like that you care, but you don't need me.
Now he's hurt.
I do need you. I need you.
How's your ribs?
Much better. I rested.
Good. Yeah, I'm worried about him.
Thank you.
First he shit all over the bathroom and shit all over the walls, and now he broke his ribs. I think he's going through like an old age crisis.
An old age crisis, not a midlife.
I think he's past midlife.
He took me out to eat last night. You should have seen what this guy ordered. He's got that.
Oh, yeah?
Matzo ball soup the size of a bucket.
Yeah.
It comes in a bucket.
Where'd you go for dinner?
We went to the Carnegie Deli down the street.
So, like, after the soup, he should have been done.
No, but then they brought in his, mile-high stack of meat on bread. Like, you don't even know there's bread underneath this fucking thing. You got to cut for like 10 minutes before you even hit bread.
Right.
And he's sitting there going, boy, I don't think I can finish this.
Julie. I split it with my son, and I had like a little bit of matzo ball soup, and that was it, and we left. And who had the fucking cheesecake?
I had a slice of cheesecake.
That's the way they serve it. I don't run their business.
You're so pregnant.
Yeah.
Look at the size.
Oh, I know, because then I was inactive for that, because I can't move with my please.
And he's telling the guy at the front desk, he goes, this is my life partner. He's pointing at me. He's going, this is my life partner. We're checking in tonight. And the guy, and then he zones out. He starts messing with his phone. He's not paying attention. So I'm listening to the guy. The guy goes, so one king bed is good for you guys? And I'm like, Tim, they're about to put us in the same room. He goes,
your joke's going over so well, we're going to be in the same bed.
He goes, no, they're not. No, they're not. Diddling away on his phone. I go, Tim, he's telling me they're one bed for both of us.
Yeah, because we're life partners.
Yeah. No, he goes, no, I was just kidding. The guy goes, oh, all right.
Great joke.
Yeah, you didn't know. He's getting us a room.
He's the life of the party. He's all excited about the weather.
I tell him, I go, what do I do when I get there? Do I have a room under my name? He goes, just take Ronnie's room. I go, I can't just go up to a front desk and go, hey, give me Ronnie's room. You're not going to just check me in.
Give me Prince Charles's room. Yeah, what a nut.
He's so much fun.
Well, he gets so crazy, and he's calling me, and he's got plans, and by the way,
did any of them make any sense better than the ISDN line?
It made no sense, the ISDN line. Like, he was just like, here's our 3 different plans, and I'm getting Gary on the phone in a 3-way, and I was like, I didn't even know it was Gary. That was an engineer. He goes, we're going to get on a 3. I go, I'm not getting on any 3-way. Just tell me your plan. And he had 3 different contingency plans. I go, Tim.
What were the contingency?
Yeah, because I'm trying to
One
think.
was I'm going to have the ISDN line, if and all the power goes out, and I'll do it from the house. And I said,
"You mean
my apartment?" I said, "Tim, if all the power goes out, how do you make the ISDN line work? I need equipment." He goes, "Well, you have an emergency generator, don't you?" I go, "No."
Now you got to check the schematics of your building.
And not only that,
my building does. No, what building in Manhattan has an emergency
actually, there
generator?
are a few.
A few.
I mean, that have it. But yours
have
might
that.
not have it, and maybe it's only for like essential stuff, like the elevators.
Well, I want to say to Tim, is this show so important? I mean, that like if like there's a complete flooding and a disaster,
right?
We need to be up here. We're the last
safety.
line.
Yeah. We have to, I mean, it's insane.
You're taking your wife and you're finding safety.
Right.
I heard option 3 was cyanide pills. Is that true?
The other option was, of course, which was so stupid, was like, well, I'll be able to get here.
Right.
So that's the same option. I have
that's
every
the
day.
option you have every
two
day.
options.
Right. And then there was a third option.
But isn't the third option to go to like another state or something?
No, there was a third option. I don't know. Hey, Tim, what were your 3 options?
I know what they are. The third option was switching dates. In other words, canceling today and tomorrow, doing the show Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, and then, no, I know what it was. Tim goes, cancel Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and work Thanksgiving week. And I went,
What?
and I started to laugh. I just started to laugh. I go, get the fuck off my phone.
Gary and I concocted all this.
Yeah, well, you guys...
Way to throw Gary under the bus.
I said,
I'm not going down in flames on this one alone.
My boss will probably just want to work Thanksgiving week.
Listen, I came up with 4 different ideas.
Yeah, but I came up with an option, too. The option where no one can get on the air and there's no show. And that was the real option.
No, I think part of the issue is that anybody that came in today you really won't get home until Wednesday. And there were people that were reluctant to do that.
Dude, I told you. Anybody who didn't need to be... I would have done the show myself.
2 people didn't come in and you already goofed on them.
No, I'm fine with it. It's just Doug Goodstein writes me a text like, all of the in-demand offices are closed. What does that have to do with me? In-demand offices.
I think the feeling is, though, if you don't come in, you're going to get goofed on, and nobody wants to get goofed on.
I told everyone, I said, don't come in.
Right,
do whatever you have to do.
But Doug didn't come in, and Scott didn't come in, and Richard didn't come in, and nobody wants
Richard's retarded.
That's true.
Tim, he's living in Manhattan. Him and his wife have no children. Tim gave them a room. They could go live in the hotel. He's sitting there with the power out.
And no elevators now. He can't even get out of the building.
He's retarded. How could I not goof on him?
You all right, Gerbil?
You okay, fishy fish?
By the way, I found out that Jason just told me the hotel that we're all booked at is a pet-friendly hotel.
Right.
That's for
so
dogs.
you could have brought the gerbil.
What?
That's for dogs and cats. I'm pretty sure they'll take gerbils and fish.
What a dick.
My gerbil needs a king bed.
By the way, with the storm, it's like, did you notice, like Ronnie's dressed like a slob today?
Yeah.
Like all the rules go out.
Yeah.
Ronnie's supposed to wear a suit. Like all the security people are wearing their suits.
Ronnie
shows
couldn't
up,
wear it because of the weather?
Yeah. He showed up today like with jeans and that whole rock and roll Ronnie look.
Casual Ron
showed up for work.
Ron Jovi.
Ron Jovi. And I was just like, I was looking at him and go, nothing happened. There's no bad weather. And Ron's running around. Ron Jovi is running around in his jeans.
These are my swimming jeans, bro.
Yeah. And I was just like, why today is he not in his suit? Like everything is completely topsy-turvy.
All bets are off.
Right.
Right.
Every man for himself.
Right, Hurricane Sandy on sound.
I can picture Ronnie like raping Lisa. Like it doesn't matter. The world is ending.
Storm's coming.
Yeah.
I got a cookie. Where's your titty?
Your Honor, if you remember, it was the Tuesday of the storm. I thought my life was ending.
I saw a storm surge. I got a boner.
We started looting Tuesday at 6 o'clock and raping and pillaging. Like, where's your suit? Like, why did that all go out the window?
Why do I have to wear a suit? First of all, nobody's coming in.
Everybody's here. I'm
Nobody's
here.
here.
Julie's here. Benji's here.
Yeah, I have to wear a suit for them?
No, but I mean, everyone in the building is here. I mean,
no, not everybody in the
security was
building is here.
this
No,
morning.
everybody in the building is not here.
But why can't you
People
wear your
I saw
suit?
security were dressed in suits,
shut up.
Ron.
Look at you. You look like you fucking came from the homeless shelter.
I don't dress in suits. That's not my job.
No, but I mean, like, why today? Because of the storm?
Why do I have to go out? It's supposed to pour later. Why do I have to go out there in a suit later? For what?
It's not pouring.
It wasn't. Yeah, now. Why are you breaking my balls? I'm fucking here, aren't I?
Yeah, hey, great. But I'm just saying, rock and roll Ronnie.
The rock and roll. This is a nice white shirt. It's not rock and roll. What are you talking about?
Show everybody your jeans.
I'm not allowed to wear jeans.
Ripped jeans.
Let me see your jeans.
You got the ripped jeans. Let me see your jeans.
And I got my dicky on.
Acid wash.
Look at that. The rip comes with them to look hip.
They do.
I know.
These are
come on, man.
The
They
rip
ripped
makes
them
it.
for him?
You can see skin. My cock.
Listen,
He's got
Jason's
his
wearing a jacket for me today, okay?
He's got his walkie-talkie tucked in his back pocket.
What is wrong with you?
Turn around,
You
Howard.
stupid ass.
Turn around. It's like,
Yeah,
Let's see
what?
a walkie-talkie. Come over here. Let me see.
I always have it in my
Let me
back
see it.
pocket.
Let me see. I never saw it.
You don't fucking see it, Norman, because the jacket covers it.
That's why you wear a jacket.
Stop it.
so you don't look like a 12-year-old.
Good God.
You ever use the walkie-talkie?
You see Lieberman out there? He's wearing his mom jeans with he's wearing mutlocks.
Is he?
He's wearing he's going to get caught in 20 feet of water.
Well, you're doing the same thing?
No, I'm not. I'm wearing regular shoes, like Timberlands. He's wearing... Lieberman, come up here. Show him those duck shoes you're wearing.
Why not? Oh, there's your walkie-talkie. Who's
on.
let me see on the
Who's he in
walkie-talkie.
touch with?
Who are you in touch with?
They weren't calling me.
Go ahead. See if you can get on there and make contact with people. Just ask for a weather update.
See if there's anybody out there.
Brian, what's going on out there?
Come on, let's look here a minute. Nothing, Ronnie. He was just calling out to me.
All right, good.
All right, thanks.
Look, they all know Ronnie.
Over and out.
Over and out. Ron Jovi.
10-4, 10-4.
I mean,
Good
John
buddy.
Lieberman's wearing a jacket at least. I mean...
I look fine.
No, you don't. Where's your suit? You wearing those stupid mom jeans again? Your belly's hanging over you.
No, those jeans are better.
These are
Look at it. Look at it. Look at those boots. Look at it. Where did you get those from? My grandmother used to wear those.
I have those. Those are cool.
Yeah, these are duck shoes, they're called. And these are different jeans. These are express jeans that I've had. They're not new.
Express.
These are called duck shoes.
Isn't Express a store for fat chicks? I'm just asking.
Ronnie, look at what you're wearing.
What am I wearing?
Your jeans don't look like mom jeans?
No.
Let me see. Move over there. I'll tell you what.
First of all, you're wearing a cartoon mustache.
Big giant. What's that cartoon character? Yosemite Sam mustache.
Shut up.
And he's laughing at John Lieberman.
Yeah, really. I'm going to be here until 8 or 9 tonight.
Oh, really?
And so by the time I leave, the water could be torrential, and so I have these boots. Let me tell you what.
What's so funny?
I don't know what's so funny. I really don't.
Look at him.
I really don't know why.
Look at him.
He's set for the storm.
And my belly is not hanging over.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you. Jason Kaplan called me fat on their back office show.
You're not fat.
Which exactly.
You're
so I'm
overweight.
Hey, wait.
I'm just going to call him Slim all the time.
Yeah.
Howard, his girlfriend texted him after Jason called him fat because he went crying to her about it, and she wrote him back. She goes, "Calm down, you are fat," and then writes back, "I meant you aren't fat."
Right. All right. Anyway, we'll take a break and we'll be back right after these words. All right, so let's get this straight so Tim doesn't bother me later. What are we doing tomorrow about the show? Let's assume that they know what they're talking about with this storm, and it's so bad that we can't get to work. What is
the contingency there?
Gary, you're in charge. You're the executive producer.
Yes, we got it.
What do you go? Go ahead.
They're there will be a decision made, tonight.
By who?
By me and Tim.
Right.
Tim and I.
Tim and you.
And Tim and you. And Tim and I will make the decision.
Tim and I or Tim and you?
Tim and I.
All right.
We'll make the decision.
Right.
And we have a show we can run tomorrow if need be.
Right.
And it'll be I have a feeling, here's a perfect example. I have a feeling that tonight they will close the bridges and the tunnels.
Now so what if they do that? Are you in the city tonight?
I'm not.
Oh, you're going back home?
Yes.
Right. So
almost everybody's going back home.
Well, why would you go back home if we're doing a show tomorrow?
Because I think the feeling for most people is that they have a wife and kids and a house that also needs to be protected.
So what are you going to do?
How are you going to protect?
How are you going to protect?
In other words, if a tree falls on a house, what the fuck is my wife going to do?
Well, what are you going
to do?
He's going to lift it.
I'm going to lift it off.
Yeah, like Samson.
Yeah.
I'm like Marty Joe Young.
1 second, Mary.
So I can't count on you to be here tomorrow.
I will be here.
You've decided.
Well, you said that if people.
Well, it's pretty clear that it might be very bad, and you might not be able to get into the city.
Right.
So you're abandoning ship. Am I correct?
That is not correct.
But if they're closing bridges
in other words, if I can get in tomorrow,
I'm trying to make an assessment.
If I can get in.
So in other words, if it's a bad storm, you won't be able to get in.
Right.
Because you're not going to stay over in the city. Am I correct?
Right. That's correct.
All right.
And that would be, I would say, most of the people on our staff.
I didn't ask about most people. I just asked about you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why not bring Mary and Lucas into the city today?
And not
because
worry about the house.
What are you guys fucking crazy? So, Robin, you would leave your house.
Yeah.
Yes, I left the house.
So if a tree falls on my house, I'll just figure it out when I get home.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything done
anyway?
during the storm.
Of course you're going to. Of course.
Tree falls in your house. Why do you want to be in it?
What if it starts to flood?
Yeah.
It's gonna
what
flood.
are you going to do?
You can't get the tree out of your house.
You're going to take a pail and get the water.
So Howard, why don't you tell your entire staff to leave the house out east and just see what happens?
Of course they have.
You have not. There's no staff out east.
Well,
you wouldn't leave it.
I have people there now because there's no storm.
And I have people in my house right now. But
but I don't want someone to go down with a ship.
You wouldn't leave your house unattended. You wouldn't. People don't leave the house. In other words, we haven't been told to leave.
But your
our
wife,
homes.
you said.
Wait a minute. And everybody was told to evacuate their homes in certain places. Those houses are unattended.
But that's because it was a mandatory evacuation.
So in other words, you're not here tomorrow.
I don't know that.
In a storm, I'm saying.
It depends on what happens with the storm.
All right. Well, I'm going to make every effort to get over here. Now, if I get here, who's going to be here?
But really, what does he think he could do with a tree?
Nothing. He's not going to do a fucking thing.
Well, and also, Gary.
Robin, is your house out of New Jersey unattended? Why don't you just leave it? Tell those guys not to go near it, and let's just see if a tree falls on it or if it floods. You deal with it later.
We will.
You got a big old fucking staff to watch your house, but I shouldn't watch my house. How fucking dare you?
What are you going to do?
I don't know, but
why are you getting so angry? I'm just asking what you're doing.
I think it's rude for Robin to say. And you, for that matter, to say, "Hey, fuck your house."
A tree.
I'm not. I'm just saying,
know that it's a tree.
Of a disaster, you're not going to be able to do anything.
I don't know what the disaster is going to be, and it could be on. Hold on.
Let's imagine
it could be on a smaller level that I can work with.
All right. Let's say your house is flooding, as you say. What are you going to do?
Well, I have a pump that I could hook up and start to try to get the water out.
Yeah. You think that's going to work?
I don't know, but I would rather do that than do nothing.
I see.
I don't think you see.
No. I just asked you, are you going to be here tomorrow? And now you're getting defensive.
Because
you are feeling guilty. So
I'm not feeling guilty.
Listen to your voice. You're yelling.
But you're not. There's no.
All I said is, are you going to be here tomorrow? Are you staying in the city tonight?
There's no sensitivity to somebody's family or home.
I didn't say. I said.
But you did. You go.
I asked you.
You said no. Here's the difference. I'm going to point it out. I'm going to get you right here.
Go ahead.
You said, "Oh, so I guess I can't depend on you."
Right. I can't depend on you to be here tomorrow. Am I correct?
I don't think that's how you said it.
Am I right? You just said that's what I said, and you said that's not how I said it.
I can't depend on you to be here tomorrow. It's different than I can't depend on you.
Gary, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
If the weather allows
No. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
Is it an absolute that I'll be here tomorrow? The answer is no.
Okay. That's all I asked.
But you say, I guess I can't depend on you. Not depend on you to be here tomorrow.
I can't depend on you to be here tomorrow.
Well, there's a difference.
Am I correct, or am I hallucinating?
There's two different versions. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow is one thing. Can I depend on you if you don't say anything? That means I can't depend on you no matter what.
No, I said tomorrow, can I depend on you to be here? And you said no.
That is correct.
But then you went through a whole beaver-toothed explanation about how.
You asked me. No, you said
you're
why.
Getting defensive.
But you said why.
I said what's
and
going on.
And then I told you why.
Can you spend the night in the city?
I told you why, and then
because you need to be there with Mary.
You completely discounted
and Lucas.
it. You completely discounted it.
I did not. I just said,
you did.
Are you going to be? And then Robin asked you, what are you going to do in the event of the storm? We're hearing you.
Both of you said, like, oh, what are you going to do?
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be with my family if something happens.
Okay, so that's what we asked you. Why
Well,
are you getting
he
defensive?
did say you could bring them into the city and have them stay in the hotel with you.
Right, and then now I'm leaving my house unattended. That's the most ridiculous fucking idea ever, Robin.
Well, maybe a neighbor could keep an eye on it.
Sure, when they're dealing with their house, they should deal with mine too. Why don't they look over the whole fucking
Well, maybe you'll pay them.
That doesn't work. You don't pay people to look at your house.
You don't?
People have to look at their house. So if something's going wrong in somebody's house, they're going to leave that to go handle my house?
Do you ever leave your house unattended?
Not during storms, Robin.
Okay.
Yes, of course, we all leave our houses unattended, but not when we know. First of all, the governor of Connecticut said 600,000 people without power, probably 2 weeks.
Right.
Probably for 2 weeks.
That's where you want to be.
So let me get back to my question, because all I was asking you is I'm trying to figure out the plan for tomorrow. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
Not absolutely, no.
The answer is no, right?
Right.
Okay. That's what you should have said instead of feeling all guilty.
I don't really feel guilty.
Just say no. I can't be depended upon.
Yes, no, I can't be dependent upon.
That's it. Now, who can I depend on if I make it in tomorrow? Shuli, can I depend on you?
Yes, Howard.
All right. Thank you. Will you be attending to your home?
My wife is going to be taking care of that for me.
Where do you live?
I'm outside of the city. I'm in
an apartment?
Well, no, I'm on a first floor. You're
in an apartment.
Gary, why are you attacking this guy who wants to work with me tomorrow? I need people here.
How dare
I can't depend on you. This guy says you can depend on me, and you're attacking him like you're an enemy of my show.
Well, fine. You know what? I'm going to leave.
I didn't say anything. I just said I'd be here.
Who can I depend on? Shuli, can I depend on you to be here if I make it in?
Nothing will stop me from doing my job, Howard.
All right. Thank you.
Nothing.
Fred.
Yes, sir.
Will you be here tomorrow?
I will be here
you make
tomorrow.
your every effort to get in?
I will be here. I was here the day after 9/11. I was here during several blizzards when there were no cabs. But I don't have the problem that Gary has.
All right. So Fred, I can depend on you to be here.
I'll be here.
Surely you're going to be here.
I'll be here, Howard.
Benji, you have an opportunity to come in or no? Are you going to be guarding anything or are you going to be here?
What if my internet goes out?
Well, no, seriously. Are you going to be here?
Yes, yeah, I'll be here.
All right. So now I know, Robin, you will be able to broadcast? Mm-hmm. All right. All right, so Gary, I can't depend on you tomorrow.
That's right.
But I can depend on Fred, Benji, and Shuli. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right, that's what I wanted to know. Look at you. You look like you're going to cry.
I'm fine.
Fucking baby.
I'm not a baby.
Just man up and say you won't be here.
I didn't say I won't be here.
Oh, my God, you're attacking
but I
and
didn't
screaming and yelling.
I didn't say I won't be here.
You're like a maniac.
No,
I need to know who's going to be here.
But
if
Howard,
I get
there's
here,
a
no
whole
one's
subtext to it that you're not really being honest
Gary,
about.
Gary, you're
be
being
honest.
dishonest.
No,
you're
being
attacking
dishonest.
me. I need
you're
to
not
know
being
who's going to
upfront.
be here.
You want to make it sound like I don't care about my job.
I did not say that.
I'm
I
go on
said,
record.
can I depend on you to
go on
be
record
here tomorrow?
because I want to be straight. I care more about my wife and my kids than I do about this job.
Okay.
It's a close race. It's a close race.
Gary, you don't even have to go that far.
But
I
that's
just
what
said,
I think you
can
want
I
to know.
depend on you to be here tomorrow? And the answer
Understood.
is either yes or no.
I know, but you know that you're going in.
I'm not going anywhere. You're putting words in my mouth. You're getting defensive. Again, I have to make arrangements for tomorrow. Right. If I'm coming in, who is going to be here?
Okay.
Doug Goodstein is not here today. That's right. There's nothing going on, and he's not here today.
In-demand
offices are closed somewhere.
There's two TV guys. Gange's directing the show, and there's one other guy who's doing cameras.
Well, if that's the case, why don't we do that every day?
Yeah.
Like, why do we need these other
takes.
guys? Why do we have all these extra people? We could save a fortune in the budget.
And Rob, the camera guy, is doing the hallway camera.
Worst thing you can do around here is show you're
Where's my
expendable.
shit bucket?
Right.
You know?
Oh, trust me. I'm looking over the whole situation.
And Gary, my family is most important to me as well. But when they asked you why not bring your family down here, then you said, well, the house. Why leave the house? So if your family's most important, you'll get to the house
attack
when you
Gary.
get there.
I just needed an answer. Who is going to be here? You're attacking him. I just asked Gary a simple question. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow? And he just attacked me.
Yes, it was a full attack.
It was.
You attack me too.
You're a defensive guy.
You could have said, "Will you be able to make it tomorrow?" But it's, "Can I depend on you?"
No,
sort of
I said the same thing to Fred. I said the same thing to Benji and Shuli. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
And it insinuates that not coming in makes me undependable.
Gary, that's your interpretation.
Well, okay, it's an interpretation.
Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
Gary, can you be here tomorrow?
Gary, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
They're two different questions.
All right, Gary, can you be here tomorrow?
I will do my very best to get here, weather permitting.
Okay, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
Same answer. But I think you're but I think you're asking a different question. I really do. I do. I think you're asking.
How do I plan my day for the rest of the day if I don't know who's going to be here?
I didn't say that. The first way was an easy way to get the same answer.
I said to you, Gary, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow? The answer is no. That's it. Then you're done. Then you leave. But no, you're going to stand there like a buffoon. I don't
feel buffoonish at all.
You should.
I don't.
You can't answer a straight question. You're all guilty over there. Like, I'm attacking you. I need to know who I can depend on to be here. Tim, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow? I'm going to ask everybody the same question.
Okay.
I need to know what I'm dealing with when I walk in. Why is this so difficult for you?
It's not difficult.
I said the same thing to Doug Goodstein last night. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow? He said no.
And then you mocked him. And then you mocked him for it.
Mock him. What is
But you said
did you have any trouble getting in today?
No, I know. But you did. But you did tell everyone. But here's the thing: you laid it out there, and you said, if you don't feel safe, don't come in.
Can you imagine he doesn't feel safe today?
I got you, but you laid it out there for everyone with no repercussions. Now there's repercussions.
What do you think of his decision?
I think it was the wrong decision. I think that you have to make. I think you have to make it what's called a game time decision. You have
do you think Casey made a good decision when he left the show that day during 9/11 because he's a pussy?
No, but that was.
Could you stop making noise, Tim? Do you know how to work the equipment around here? Give him a lesson.
You know we're on the air.
You know what's going on, Howard. You have microphone 3 on, and he's rubbing against it.
All right.
His OCD's making noise.
Was that me?
He's on 2.
I'm on 2.
Which are we going to use, 2 or 3, or is it always up for grabs?
It's up to you. You're running the board.
I've told the guys to put 3 on top and to always use 3, but it always seems to change.
I know. All right, just leave that on, please.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Yes,
why is he getting so attacked?
Why are you getting attacked?
Yeah, why are you attacked? Seriously, I asked him.
No, Gary and I asked, we discussed what you want to do, and if you're going to do a show, we're going to be here.
Right. No, he says he cannot be depended upon to be here.
I will be here.
Yeah, Gary said he can.
So if he can't, we'll make do.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And what are we going to do if a tree falls on Gary's house?
We're going to call
we'll call the Amish. They'll all come over and
how are you today?
It's one of 1,000 scenarios, Howard.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
We'll get through it.
So,
right.
Tim, I can depend on you to be here tomorrow?
I will be here.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. I just wanted an answer. It's not an attack.
What's happening?
When Tim comes in.
First of all, fucking John Lieberman. This is just an aside, very quickly. I told him the other day, I go, you work in fucking radio. You know where the microphone is. 2 days in a row, he put the microphone on backwards.
Teach him. Give him a seminar.
I told him.
He's retarded.
I said, John, you of all people are the last person I should have to teach how to put a microphone on.
Jason, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow? And Will. Let's find out their answer, Gary. At least I'm entitled to an answer. I know it upsets you. Jason, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
Weather depending, just like Gary.
Okay, so the answer is no.
The answer is no if the weather's bad.
Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
I guess not.
Okay.
Wow.
That's it. Simple answer. Thank you. Is he worried about trees? Do you know?
He's in a flood area.
He's in a flood area?
He's actually in a mandatory evacuation area. He and his wife have decided not to listen.
Do me a favor tomorrow.
They're staying put in an evacuation area.
Teach John Lieberman. Oh, you won't be here tomorrow. Who's going to be here tomorrow to teach John Lieberman? Will you teach John Lieberman tomorrow how to use the headphones?
Sure.
Thank you.
You got it.
Right. Who else, Gary, can I depend on?
I don't even have to ask him. Did Will answer?
Will, can I depend on you to be here? I'm just trying to find out who's going to be here. Gary's all upset about it.
JD.
I shouldn't ask anybody? Oh, JD will be here.
Yeah, right.
Believe me, I know that.
It's better here than wherever else he might go.
Wherever he has to go, it's bad. Robin is
Can you imagine if he told you he's not coming in?
Right. Will, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
If you really need us to be here, I would be here.
Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
I don't know what that means.
Are you?
My wife and my child are my priority.
Understood. So, can I depend on you to be here?
If you said I really need one of you guys to be, if you need Gary to be here, if you need me to be here, I will be here.
I didn't ask that question. I said, can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
I said, if you need me to be here, I'll be here.
I said
That's all I can say to you.
that everyone makes their own decision. I don't want anyone putting themselves in harm's way if they feel threatened by the weather that's supposedly coming, or they have a situation, to stay home. So now I'll ask you the question again. Can I depend on you to be here tomorrow?
I am slightly concerned about leaving my wife and child alone.
So the answer is yes or no?
So the answer, I guess,
I don't care about the reason. Go ahead, yes or no?
The answer is no.
No, okay. All right, so you can't be here tomorrow. All right, so Will.
No, I'm not saying that. I said if you.
The answer is no. I can't depend on you. Is that correct? Yes or no?
If you say you need me here, I will be here.
I didn't say that. I
won't
need
leave.
You here. I don't need you here right now. You can leave now to prepare. And I want you to go to Gary's and help him with the tree. Can I depend on you to go to Gary's and help him with the tree that's going to fall on his house?
If Gary needs me, I'll be there.
All right, that's good, man. Boy, well, how's it going over there? Mary and the kids are in the house. Wait, I can't hear you right now. I'm busy taking down the tree. It's my priority.
Can I ask you a question? And not being defensive.
Excuse me.
Would you leave?
Wait,
would you
I'm doing
leave,
an impression right
would
now.
You leave Beth in the house out east with no one but Beth?
Gary,
listen
to me.
Just a question. It's a simple
Beth's
question.
with me.
It's a simple question.
Beth's with me.
But I'm saying if that were the case.
No, of course not. Beth's with me.
But why wouldn't you?
Because why would I do something stupid like that?
But you have.
I'm bringing her. I brought her here.
You have choices in many houses. Right. I don't have that choice.
Gary, why are you attacking me? I just asked if I could depend on you.
I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to put.
Can I depend on you to be here?
I'm putting it in perspective.
Gary, I'm not angry with you. Why are you attacking me? I just asked, are you going to be here tomorrow? And you said, I'm not sure. It depends on the weather.
No, I asked
so
and
I said,
answered,
can
no.
I depend on you to be here? And you said no, and that's correct. Why are you getting so attacked?
I'm just saying, put yourself in other people's
Gary,
position.
I'm not even. I wrote on Mildred last night. Anybody who can't make it in, don't worry about it. I will carry on.
Right, but everybody who didn't come in today is being sort of mocked.
No, that's not true.
Well, he made fun of Scott. He made fun of Doug.
It looks a little weird to me.
I agree that those people should have made
Gary,
a bigger decision.
do you see any weather happening out there that would prevent you from coming in today?
No.
Do you see any potential dangerous situation going on right now? And can't we all leave at 10 o'clock? Maybe we leave early and get home?
Yeah, we can leave it right after the show.
Right.
For sure.
So don't you think that's a little ridiculous that they didn't come in?
Yeah, I can tell you what
even if the storm hit during the show, within the next 2 hours or 3 hours, it wouldn't have prevented anyone from getting home. Well, it would have been rain.
I will tell you what one person said to me, and this was yesterday.
Right.
When it sort of shifted because it was supposed to start at midnight last night. It hasn't started yet. So the premise was that
this is so ridiculous.
Hold on. The premise was that people thought yesterday if you got in this morning, you weren't getting out till Wednesday.
I see.
So one of the people said to me, my wife lives alone. I have a generator.
Right.
She can't pull it out.
All right.
And so
listen, who cares? If they anybody can make their own decision.
I'm just giving you some explanation.
But don't you think some of the decision making looks a little silly right now? Don't you think? When we woke up this morning, was that they were saying even the storm won't start till late Monday. So, okay.
No, well, they didn't. They said
you could be out of here by 10 a.m.
The storm was supposed to start last night. That's what most people thought.
But when you wake up,
I got you.
Don't you look and see that it's not? And I turned on the TV this morning. They said storm won't really hit New York until later Monday
I
evening.
woke up almost every other hour last night. I couldn't sleep, and I kept waiting to hear this horrible rain against the window that I never heard.
That you never heard.
But I was coming in no matter what today because I knew, however bad the storm was this morning, it would be like a regular storm.
Exactly.
We had this conversation yesterday, Howard, and I said, couldn't you sort of wait and to see what happens before you
I
make
called
a decision?
Robin. I said, listen, here's what we'll do. Why don't we wake up in the morning and see what's happening? That's what I said.
That's what I told my wife today.
I said, well, I'm not a weatherman. I don't know what's happening. I'm not John Boleros, who is scaring the shit out of my wife every 5 minutes. This guy texts my wife. Would he lose my wife's text phone number?
So he gives her special reports that the rest of us don't get?
God, yes, he does. And I got to tell you something. It's a nightmare. I said to my wife, don't listen to this guy.
Didn't he do this already? Didn't you tell him not to?
Yes. Stop it.
He did this with Irene.
Yeah. Oh, he found an in. John Boleros is here. Get this fucking guy in here. I'm going to boot him right out of here. Bring him in so I can boot him out. What's the matter with him? And every minute he's on, I've never seen anything like this.
That's what they're all saying. They all are on the TV going, have you ever seen anything like it?
You know why? Because it gets the ratings up.
Yeah. Of course.
Of course, that alarmist attitude makes people tune in.
Fox News had Geraldo outside last night. The wind wasn't even blowing his hair. And he's on there. We're out here like he's in Afghanistan. Like he's the bravest guy.
I'm on the front line, Mom. I don't listen to those guys. So what do you think when you see the mayor and the governor and all those people. Like the governor of
Well,
Connecticut.
they're listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're listening to John Bolaris. I think
They're listening to weathermen.
They're experts.
Geraldo was swinging from a building. He didn't know what to do with himself yesterday.
On a flagpole.
He's up. I'm up on the flagpole. I'm trying to find some wind. All right. So, in other words, guys, the ones that I can depend on. Let's wake up tomorrow. We'll figure out if we can get in or not, and we'll make our move. Gary, shh, we're in a planning session with the people who are definitely going to be here. Please keep quiet.
That's
all
what
right.
I'm talking about.
Howard, I watched
I'm in a planning session.
Gary,
Yeah.
how'd you get into this closed meeting?
Yeah, how did you get in it?
Yeah, we can't depend on you.
Hey, Boleros, what are you, a fucking maniac?
Guy is a maniac.
He is a maniac. Let me turn my attention to you. What is your problem? What are you, hopped up on something?
Yeah. Dude, he lives for this.
Can I say something? Lose my wife's text number, will you? I'm being serious. I mean, what are you doing?
Wait.
You text my wife. You start on Thursday. On Thursday.
No, I really probably I would have started earlier, but I didn't want to bug anyone.
Yeah, well, you're bugging my wife, and she's walking around in a fucking panic. John Bolaris just told me he's never seen anything like it.
It's true.
And didn't he say that the last time? Do me a favor.
Last time you wound up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, you
well,
really...
no, because of him.
Yeah, because of you, I had to move a dog and 3 cats.
You were going to go to Vermont. I said, no, Vermont. Beth said...
Do me a favor. Let me just do whatever I have to do. Even if I die in the storm, it's better than
you
listening to you.
You would have flooded out in Vermont with Irene.
You know what? I know that.
See?
I heard that on the news. I didn't need
Not
you to
before
tell
that.
me. Yeah. No. I did.
No.
You get her worked up.
No,
what do you mean, no? I was there.
You're keeping her safe.
Yeah. John.
Listen.
Please. No more.
No more?
No more texts. You got to stop.
Safety?
No. Seriously. I don't
Really?
mind. I like you. You know I do.
Yeah.
I've hung out with this guy. He's a good guy.
But why do you have to be safer than everyone? Like you talk to people publicly,
Right, I don't know.
and you warn them. So why does Beth have to be safer?
Because I'm Howard Stern.
He's Howard Stern.
Yeah.
No, there's a connection there a little bit. I know from
But I know you.
there's
We know each other
concern.
well. I didn't get a
There's-
text or anything.
Well, I don't know your text. You want? Yeah, I could do that for you
He'll
easily.
text to you. Oh, trust me. You don't want.
He'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
I give Robin his number.
I don't
if
even
you
know
need
how
my
he got
help,
my
Robin,
wife's. I don't even know how he got my wife's phone number.
She's too nice to everybody.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, really, it's I've never seen anything like this, Howard. And of deep
Give me the
concern.
bottom line now. What is going to happen? Let me
He
hear from
doesn't
you.
know
All right.
what's going to happen.
No, I do know what's going to happen.
All right, John.
It's what
Right
we call,
now we're all here, and there's nothing happening. So what is going to happen? Give me
It's
a time.
called it is the perfect storm.
Right.
Okay. Rare atmospheric conditions all coming together at once. Now listen, hear me out.
All right, I know Canada and the snow and the whole thing is going to happen. What? Just tell me
Winds
what.
increase rapidly this afternoon. There'll be hurricane force here by
What time?
About you'll see the winds really ramp up around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Go ahead.
Hurricane force by evening, 4 or 5 o'clock, winds gusting 70, 75 along the Jersey Shore, northern New Jersey, Sandy Hook, in the hook into southern Manhattan.
Just talk about Manhattan. I don't care about
New
these
York
other
City,
places.
southern
Yeah.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
It will flood out. It will the lower end of Manhattan.
Right.
It will come over our Rockaway Peninsula. It will flood out. FDR Drive will be under about 4 to 6 feet of water by tonight.
The FDR Drive,
Yes.
4 to 6 feet.
That makes sense.
4 to 6 feet.
What about the West Side Highway?
No, well, there'll be flooding on the west side. We're in a, right now evacuating a zone A. I think it will go perhaps to a zone B because the storm continues to intensify. Haven't seen anything like this. Even the 92 nor'easter can't compare to. This is a storm that we've never predicted before.
See, now this is what's going on in my wife's text, and she is in a panic.
But it's serious stuff. Do you not think it's real?
I think it's real, but again, we've been not lied to. But the prediction in business is hard. In Italy they would
These
kill
storms
you.
aren't that easy to predict.
In Italy, they'd lock you in jail.
But what if they're right?
Yeah, right.
What if they're right?
No.
What if they're right? Then it'll be right. I mean, what can I'm trying to get a handle on this,
Listen.
but the problem is, if it's right, then I'm going to have to deal with it anyway. I'm not going to be in any different situation because he's telling me.
That's how I feel.
Right. So it's like texting my wife is only going to make her mental.
Record flooding. New York City, southwest end of Long Island, north shore of Long Island, going in through into the Lip and into Great Neck region, all of Lower Manhattan, East Side. I told you about the FDR, the Rockaway Boulevard
Yes.
probably will be
What,
underwater.
flooding?
So,
I mean,
John,
tidal surge.
John.
Yeah.
Bottom line, will we be able to broadcast tomorrow?
Should I
Yes.
even make an effort? I will.
Now, what are you basing?
Can
it
I
on?
depend on Gary to be
You're in
here?
a safe zone here.
So you don't think we'll lose any electricity here?
Oh, well, There'll be power outages for days, but mainly in the suburbs. The grids are tough to take down.
Where
in
are
New York
these
City.
grids? I mean, really, what do you understand power?
Trees going down, knocking down the power line.
right.
So that's
Manhattan doesn't have any trees
No.
and power lines.
No,
Yeah,
but
it
there
comes
could
into
be
Manhattan.
scattered outages
But
in
it comes
Manhattan.
into Manhattan online.
Does Manhattan have any place where they make their own power?
No.
No, that's too bad.
No, but
You
know,
want to build a dam or something?
If I'm mayor, I would build a power thing right here in Manhattan.
Well, you got to have some place to make the power.
I don't know about that.
You got to either have a nuclear facility
Okay,
or you've
here we
got to
go.
have a dam.
I'll build a dam. I got a beaver working here.
Well, listen, it's my
I'm chewing as fast
He's
as I
good.
can.
Beavers are good in floods.
No, it's a life-threatening storm, Howard.
Yeah.
It really is. It's going to go down as probably the worst storm of all time in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. All right?
Can I ask John a question, Howard?
But we can still get to work.
Well, if not if you're coming from the suburbs, not if you're coming from Lower Manhattan, they're going to be shutting down. There's a possibility that
See,
there
if
could
I was
be,
mayor, I would
Listen,
turn Central Park into a nuclear power plant.
south of Canal, there could be some serious flooding. It could shut down.
All right,
there
so
could
what's
be a
the
problem
bottom
with
line?
the subways.
Should I plan on doing a show tomorrow?
Here, yeah.
Here.
You're safe here.
Okay.
You're not
I'm
safe.
doing it then.
Yeah.
I'm coming in.
Will Howard be able to travel around the city to get here and back?
Yes.
Not going to the lower.
No,
I got you.
no, lower.
Not going to the lower
on the Upper
area.
West Side.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. You're in a safe zone.
All right.
Many people are not in the safe zone.
Well, my guys in hotels are, so I'll
Right.
be here.
That's good.
All right.
Right there, you're fine.
Yeah. So what are you in a panic about? As long as we can broadcast, America will be happy.
Well, there's other factors. I mean, your listeners are
Well, the
are
listeners
deep concerned.
Well, not to me. I have to be safe. That's all my listeners. And my listeners only care about me broadcasting. No. Of course they do. All right. Well, tonight you'll do the weather show, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Hey, here you have a hot girlfriend. Everyone's crowing about her.
Yeah, she's sweet.
This guy never has problems with women.
I know.
99
Well, they tell me
problems,
those
but a bitch ain't
weathermen
one.
are lady killers.
Oh, yeah, weathermen are lady killers.
He brought
Except
her
for
to,
Sam Champion. He's a guy killer.
He brought her with him to the block party in Philly, and
She here now?
Yeah.
Let me see her.
You mean here in the building?
Well, she came with me. I was going to leave her
There's going to be
alone.
a storm. He's not going to leave her alone.
He took his girl with
Where
him.
is she? I'll go get her.
This guy's a gentleman.
She should be outside.
So,
She's
John,
she's a sweetheart.
You're doing a show tonight, right?
Right, I believe.
Whoa, how did you get her?
look at this.
Look at this.
Oh, boy.
How did he get you?
Hi, Howard.
How are you? Marona me. What microphone are you on?
3.
3? Look at that.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, Howard.
She's younger than you, right?
A little bit.
How much?
20 years.
Wow.
I was going for 10. I think you look good then.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, John didn't meet you by texting, did he?
Oh.
And you didn't used to be married to a DJ, did you?
I did not.
Right. So, John, every time I'm, gotten together with you, you always have a hot girlfriend.
These are different women.
Well, I knew his other hot girlfriend.
I like beautiful women.
Wow.
But she's a sweetheart. She's not only hot, but she's, a great soul.
Could there be marriage in the future?
Yes.
How long has this been going on?
Wow. You're in love.
About a year and a half.
Good
Are you
job.
in love?
In love.
You in love with him?
I couldn't be without her.
You are?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in sales.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have a job and everything, huh?
I do.
Wow. What
She's
a cash.
working on. She's
know what
working. I'm not.
I know what she sells, but I'll take 2.
Right. Yeah, what do you sell? Do you have a product?
I sell
Stone.
tile, natural stone, hardwood.
Stone?
Oh, okay.
Well, I need some of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gary's got a house.
I'm predicting
Gary's going to need it.
Give me 100 square yards.
Stone, good market, yeah?
It is.
Can make a lot of money selling stone?
Well,
No.
Works
okay.
a lot. Not enough money.
I
That's
work
for sure.
very hard.
Wow, good for you. How do you meet you? Where?
Mutual friends.
Yeah,
you were set up?
You want to hear the story?
Rather hear it from her, but okay.
Don't tell that
No,
story.
you tell it.
All right.
All right.
Well,
where were you?
I was having a little dinner party at my apartment.
Right.
And at the time, I was dating someone else.
Right.
She was dating someone else.
Right.
And there was there was some interest
Connection,
there.
yeah.
Connection. And then,
But she wound at the party because you guys had mutual friends?
yeah.
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 How long before you go to bed with John? Like how long?
3 hours.
3 hours. Oh my God.
3 hours.
Look at this
bang
guy
her at the party?
at the dinner party.
No, it was down the road. No, it wasn't 3 hours. It was down the road that we got together, and then it was 3 hours.
You had sex 3 hours later? Wow.
Yeah, but it
He
was
seduced you quickly.
He did.
My goodness.
He was the same way about that with her, that he is about the weather.
Yeah.
Relentless.
What does he do? Does he impress you by telling you the weather and the dangers of the storm?
He does, actually. Yeah.
Has he been texting you the weather, too, the way he's texting my wife?
No, I get it firsthand.
You get it firsthand?
Yeah.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Look at the storm. Calls my work yelling at me. You have to leave now.
You have to evacuate. And that's what he says to my wife.
I didn't say evacuate. I said you're safe.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. John is going to be on the air with us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be covering the storm no matter what.
Right.
I can depend on you to be here?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's my life.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I can depend on you.
We will get married. This is the first time.
Why don't you propose?
Have you proposed?
Truly in love.
Have you proposed?
No.
Go ahead.
Do it right now,
John.
pussy.
Let's hear it.
No balls. Let's go.
What is your name? I don't even know.
Erica.
Erica gave him a
John?
note. She goes, no.
Well, she knows I love her.
No, it has to be right.
This is right for us. We don't care about what's
We're
right
all
for
going
you.
to die tomorrow
Yeah, it's
anyway.
perfect for
Tell your
us.
grandchildren about this.
On the day of the perfect storm? How romantic.
Yeah.
That's true.
Marry that perfect ass.
John, is there something you want to say to Erica?
Well, you know I love you.
I know you do.
And you know we're going to be married someday, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And you're always by my side.
What? Say it.
In the worst of times, she's by my side. You know,
Say
You've been through some things.
the thing. Say it. Erica?
will you marry me?
I will.
Oh. A couple of kisses.
Look at this. Something happy on a stormy day.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that something?
It would be in the paper tomorrow if there wasn't a storm.
High pitch is going to be so jealous.
How romantic. L'chaim. All right.
She's the best. She's the
Well,
best.
we just got a proposal.
Wow.
Sometimes
Oh,
in the
yeah.
midst of tragedy.
And she's great with my little girl.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
You mean the other girl you're dating?
That too.
Oh, good for you.
No, I've been.
Congratulations, you
sincere.
two.
Thank you.
Proposal given.
Yeah.
Proposal accepted.
And I'll give Beth a little text when I get back.
Listen,
Make sure.
when you get another job, you'll get a ring. You will. You're a great weatherman.
Thank you, Howard.
All right, John.
Thank
keep
you.
us
Appreciate it.
posted.
I will.
Stay around.
Now,
Don't-
is he a real meteorologist?
Yes.
Yes, this is the real deal.
Real deal.
This guy knows.
Robin.
I'm lending you my personal meteorologist or whatever that is.
When I was in the Air
Evil
Force,
Dave.
if you screwed up forecasting, you get gross negligence in forecasting. You can't screw up a fighter jet, coming down thinking he has a ceiling of perhaps 5,000 feet when he really has a ceiling of 1,000
you got
feet.
your
So,
training in the Air Force,
training
right?
in the Air Force.
Absolutely.
I see.
Can you fly a plane?
No, but I've been on missions.
You have.
Yeah.
Missions
Where?
to what?
Hurricane hunters flying into the eye of the storms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Flown into the eye of storms, quite a few in the eye. And I was actually, 1987 Hugo was the first one to actually broadcast live from C-130. At the time, Brian Williams was anchoring on the weekends in New York.
I'm just watching Erica. She's like, I'm going to go call a real estate broker. We're buying a house.
That's right.
Like, she just got proposed to.
She's
I mean,
unbelievable.
you're getting married. I mean, this is very
I'm the
exciting.
lucky one. I'm not. She's not
You
so
just
lucky.
got proposed to. Want to set a date right now?
No.
No, you want to. All right. Listen, you two kids. Go ahead. All right.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on the big wedding.
Mazel.
All right. Mazel. All right. So we can't.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Well, very unexpected, huh?
Talking about being on the spot.
Right? You thought it was going to be a storm show, and then you're engaged.
Actually about that. I'm really concerned about safety.
All right. So we can't depend on Gary tomorrow. Let's see.
Am I allowed to talk?
Absolutely.
And when you say, Gary, do you feel guilty? I'm going to say, sure, there's some guilt. It's not an easy decision.
Gary, are we back on this?
But I want to say, it is.
Gary, I just wanted to know who's going to be
but
here.
it's not an easy decision to make.
Of course.
If I didn't
Gary,
care, if I didn't care about the job, there'd be no guilt at all.
Gary, I'm trying to communicate with the people who can be here, who I can depend on to be here tomorrow. You're not part of that group now. I'm talking to them.
But of course, there's some guilt involved.
Right.
It's not an easy
Gary,
decision to
nobody
make.
cared.
Well,
you just
then why do you
tweeted it.
keep bringing up?
You brought it up.
No, but why do you keep saying I'm talking to the group that can be here?
No, because you keep interrupting. I'm trying to talk to the people I can depend on to be here tomorrow. You understand? We now have to make plans.
I didn't say I wasn't going to be here.
You have to make plans.
It's not a given that I won't be here.
All right. Well, we'll see. We're looking forward to knowing. Wouldn't it be great if Gary ended up here and I didn't? That's what I'm going to do.
You know, that's happened. Can I tell you? It's a fucked up thing. It was in 1992. There was a snowstorm that was unbelievable, right?
Yep.
Oh, I remember that one.
And I came in, and nobody else came in, and I ran the best of tapes. And they shut the highway down behind me. I could see the police putting up the cones behind me as I was going.
Well, we could depend on you then, but not now. I understand. All right. Thank you, Gary.
Times have changed.
Times have changed.
Go get security to get Gary out of this closed meeting.
Yeah, we're in a closed meeting. All right, Gary's gone. Now we can make our real plans.
He just did another 20 minutes on something completely different, and he went right back to it. Right. He's so rattled.
I made a reference that, Robin talked about this too, every scientist in Italy now is shaking in their boots. The Italian government locked up a guy for 4 years because he didn't predict an earthquake. So now what these scientists should do is predict an earthquake every day.
That's right.
Because then you'll never go to jail.
Right. It's got to hit someday.
That's a weird thing to me.
Well, our weathermen should be on alert.
Right.
They should take that to heart.
So yeah, as I said, I'm going on Kimmel tomorrow if the weather permits. From what John Bolaris is saying, that Jimmy Kimmel will not be doing
Jimmy Kimmel is
this
in
shit.
question.
Yeah.
He can't depend on you.
Yeah.
Can he depend on you?
No. Of course not. It's a simple answer. I said to Gary, can I depend on you? You're a wolf. Marry the kids and leave it to them. The trees are falling on my house. I love my house. I love my house more than you. He just said the most insulting, jerky things.
My jukebox will be exposed.
He didn't have to say a thing. All he had to say is, no, you can't depend on me.
I said I love my wife and my family.
Robin asked me a question. Robin asked me a question. Could Jimmy Kimmel depend on you tomorrow? I said no. I didn't say I love my house. I love my wife. I mean, you're a fucking maniac. Please, go away. I'm in a closed meeting now with dependable people that I can depend on.
And pretend.
All right, thank you. All right, got it.
My house more than you.
I got it.
No, but
Okay, got it.
Acknowledge it.
Acknowledge. I acknowledge. Okay, good.
Hello, big screen TV. I love you.
I like when he looks at you and goes, I don't have a lot of homes like you do.
Yeah, all the anger came just from pouring out his fucking guy.
I just said, palace in
Gary,
Versailles.
yeah, can I? You have staff. I don't have a staff. I don't have anybody. Just shut the fuck up.
That you have.
All right, good.
I have a staff infection.
Gary, I'm not. I just asked. Jimmy's not mad at me. I just said he can't depend on me tomorrow. If there's a storm, I don't know that I can get there. I mean, it's such a simple answer.
I can't believe I got to take shit, by the way, from Shuley, who almost got fired for missing almost a shitload of days.
Right,
Shuley?
Still attacking, Gary. I don't know why you're
Gary,
I don't know why you're
just asked
attacking
the
me.
question.
I'm here.
You're not getting
I'll
shit
be here
from
tomorrow.
anybody.
I have a family.
Anyway. No, Jimmy Kimmel cannot depend on me tomorrow. I don't know if I can get to Brooklyn. That's the answer. It's a simple answer.
Now, when are you going to tell Jimmy that?
I'm going to tell Jimmy right now. You can't depend on me. I don't know. Jimmy can't depend on Jimmy for tomorrow.
No, Jimmy is planning to record his shows as they have planned.
Oh, is that right?
He's going to go through with it.
Well, I'm
He's
going to make every
continue
effort.
to tape.
I'm going to make every effort. But what if a tree falls on my house?
What do I do then?
What do I do? What would you do?
He'd stand there and stare at a fucking tree on his house.
Look at what Jimmy's doing. Jimmy's bringing along a backup generator.
Well, his house in California is not...
He's abandoned.
He is not in the path of Sandy.
He has more choices.
He's flying out the crew early.
I don't have the choices you have.
I haven't taken one phone call.
No, how are people faring in this weather?
How are you faring?
This person's underwater.
Yeah, I won't bother him. James, go ahead. You're on the air. Rain hasn't even started. It's underwater. James,
no, the
go
rain
ahead.
has started.
Oh, it has?
Yes.
Hello? Uh-oh. Mary, I'm coming.
Call me as soon as the first drops hit.
Uh-oh. Lucas, get the chainsaw out for the tree that's going to fall. And the other thousands of scenarios. There he goes. I'm coming, Wolf, who I don't love so much.
I'm on the expressway. Has the tree fallen yet?
I'm monitoring with John Bolero.
They're putting cones up as I drive.
They're closing the bridge behind me.
Uh-oh, just made it through. Doug Goodstein's home.
Yeah,
He's waiting.
feet up.
Yeah, right.
Wow, it looks dark outside.
It's getting darker by the minute.
It's dark.
So bad out.
Mary, there's a roadblock. I'm going through it.
Gary, serious, and I'm being serious. You should leave now. And I'm being serious. Gary.
The rain has started.
Gary, the rain just started. I'm serious. Go home.
I don't need to leave now. The rain's not a danger.
No, but seriously, go home now because it could rapidly get bad. And I'm being serious, and I'm
I know what's a good time to leave. I have more things to do
Sure,
here
I
today.
think you're being irresponsible.
Your home's getting wet, Gary.
Yeah, there could be flooding already.
Mary, stop building an ark.
Yeah, Mary's building an ark all by herself.
Get 2 animals, 2 by 2.
What if a window is open? Who's checking the windows? Mary?
Uh-oh.
Of course.
Yeah, well,
Those
I don't know
are
that
easy.
she's capable.
If you see a wicked witch of the West, get away.
She's pedaling by the window.
See, I didn't go home.
Surrender,
and
Baba Booey.
Mary ended up in Oz.
She's with the Tin
So,
Man.
seriously, go home now.
Over the trampoline.
Gary, go home.
I'm not ready to go home.
You should.
I can be depended on to finish the show today. I'm no Casey.
Right.
Oh my!
No, no seriousness. Go. He thinks I'm kidding, and I'm not.
I understand.
If you're gonna risk going home, I think you should go home now because it could rapidly get bad.
At least you can get out now.
Right.
I think I have a pretty good idea. I mean, John Belair said the worst of it is a 2.
Well,
we get off the wrap-up
he
show
could be a little bit wrong.
He could be off.
It's not an exact science.
Hurry home. Right now. I'll be upset. I'll be worried about you sick all day. Yes, James, you're on the air in Franklin Square. Are you safe?
No, Are there white caps in the bug bath?
What if there's flooding and a tree on the house?
And we have to identify the tree.
At that point, I would just abandon ship, right?
Yeah, like what are you gonna?
Absolutely.
And emergency services are not going to get there right away. They're not going to get.
No,
just get to the
Gary's
window.
acting like he can get the tree out there himself.
Stop tearing sheets. We need tourniquets.
Put glass under my gums. Oh, no, that's Mr. Ed.
Tape the windows and my teeth.
Hey now,
Hey, now.
I live 2 towns away from Goodstreet. It's not bad at all.
There you go.
Not bad at all out there yet, is it?
Well, I'm worried about Gary getting home.
What are your parents doing? You talk to them yet?
Yeah, I called my mom last night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what can I do for my parents? You know, they're in their house and stuff, and I go, Mom, I can't hear you so good. I go, okay, I was on the cell phone, you know? Oh, forget it. Then there's no communication. I go, okay, I'll be quick. Are you okay? Of course I'm okay. Well, I'm worried about you in the storm. Are you prepared? Do you have things? I mean, what should I prepare? Your father and I went out. We have water. I mean, look, if the power goes out, that'll be terrible. But we're fine. I mean, what can we do? I go, I know. I just feel like I should call you to pretend like I'm sort of interested.
Like I'm prepared to do something?
Yeah, like, what can I do? If a tree falls on... I love my parents, but if a tree falls on their house, what can I do?
Nothing.
I'm not going to... What am I going to go out there with a chainsaw?
No.
I would, Bull.
Like, does Gary really guard his house? I mean, what is...
From looters.
Like,
He has-
neighbors, like, guard the houses, too? I mean, do they, like,
No.
take turns?
I know Gary has web cameras on his house at all times. Like, he can go online and see his house.
What if our address falls off the house? Then we won't know where we are.
I'm constantly monitoring you.
We're monitoring? That's a good thing, right?
You would think they would do something, being he's like the Paul guy now, you know?
Gary has a crossbow now.
You got me.
Look, he's
You
got a
me.
crossbow.
I'm back. I'm back like an
Why?
asshole.
Why are you back?
Would you
go home
You know
already?
what? You threw the asshole hook in the water, and I fucking bit on it. And you reeled me in.
Gary, seriously, go home.
You did. It was dangling, and I go, I'm not gonna fucking bite on it. I'm not gonna bite on it. Here I fucking have.
No, stop it. And I'm serious. If you are going home, you should go now.
I'm fine.
All right.
I'm fine.
I'm worried about you.
I feel like I'm watching a symphony in progress.
No symphony. I'm actually concerned. I'm just trying to figure out what to do tomorrow. What?
Isn't he a kind of official? Like, you would think they would take care of him now that he's a bitch out in Connecticut.
I got to go because no one can understand a word you say.
He said, now that I'm on, I'm a big shot. They're going to drop the other 60,000 houses and just focus on mine.
Right. LJ, you're on the air. That's LJ over in Comac, Long Island.
Hey now, first time, long time, Howard.
You better stay in your house with Doug Goodstein.
Just wanted to thank you for always making it out, staying on for 9/11, being there 9/12, coming in today.
You can depend on me.
What's up with Gary? He used to be so dependable. Why can't he go home now?
Well, he has concerns that trees are going to fall on his house and there's going to be flooding. So
he said, why can't I go home now? And then what?
He should go now.
And then what?
And get your generator out if that's the problem, or go home, get your wife and kids, and come to the hotel.
Why don't you leave your house in Comac and just,
why don't both you guys cut down all your trees now so they can't fall on the house?
And by the way, it's not just trees. There's a lot of different things that go wrong. For instance, there's leaves and the gutters get filled up. Like last storm 2 weeks ago, I had to go up on the roof
Mary,
with a ladder.
I'm going up with the ladder for the storm. The gutters are full.
Well, you go while it was still storming?
Hell yeah.
Don't you have those things that you put over the gutters?
Those things don't fucking
work. Yeah. Those seem to work at my house.
You know, Gary.
How would you know?
I do know.
Have you been up on the ladder?
As a matter of fact, I wouldn't go up on the ladder. I'd get somebody to do it. I don't have to do that.
No, but I'm saying I have had that thing. They just don't work.
Right.
I put springs and I have all sorts of things, but when there's a lot of leaves.
Fascinating. All right, please, Gary, nobody cares.
Well, that's not true. You've been talking about it for 20 minutes.
Gary, please, I'm just trying to make plans for tomorrow. I don't have you in tomorrow. I got to find out who I can use here tomorrow to do the show. That's all. It's not meant as an attack. Please leave so I can talk to the people who will be here.
I've never gotten so much shit for not doing something that we don't know that I'm not doing yet.
I'm in a private meeting with Shuli and Fred and Benji.
Yeah, you know what?
And you're not welcome. And Robin.
If Shuli's the future, have a party.
Okay, thank you.
You're making a scene.
Shuli.
You're making a scene. It's getting ugly.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Get more airtime. Leave your 2-year-old behind.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Howard, I just wanted to let you know that I have tickets for Kimmel tomorrow, and I will be there if you will be there.
No, you can't depend on me for that. All right. Thank you. I mean, I'm just honest.
He's so mad at me.
I mean, why? What did you do wrong?
I don't know.
I asked him if he's going to be here tomorrow.
I said yes to the question you asked me. That's what I did
so
wrong.
Silly. All right, you know what we ought to do, Robin, so Gary can get home?
Yes.
Let me take a break, and you should start the news so we can get out exactly at 10.
All right.
I'm just worried about him getting home.
Well, if the wind blows,
goodbye, Mary.
It could mean the trampoline. It could mean the rain.
Does he jump on that trampoline?
Mary, the flooding is occurring. You must. I'm going to take this piece of wood. You float on it, and I'll die.
And I will go. My face will turn blue.
I'll stay in the water while you stay on the wood.
Gary, lay on my teeth, and you won't drown.
Gary, stop eating the wood with your teeth.
No, Mary, pull out my teeth and float on one of my enormous
My
teeth.
teeth are like the iceberg.
They're a flotation device.
I don't know how long you'll last, but on my teeth, you could float forever.
I'll be fine here in the water.
Imagine he pulls out his tooth and Mary escapes because it's like one of those foam little surfboard things.
Surf to Florida on my teeth.
You were bored with this subject.
Lucas, you surf on my other tooth. Mary, you take my two front teeth are my largest.
And put Murphy on the molar.
Goodbye.
What about the cats?
So sad.
Cats hate water.
My side teeth will support the cats. And Murphy.
Don't forget my lips. We
cut my lip off as an inner tube.
Cut off my lips and float down the tsunami. Goodbye. I love you more than Howard.
You mean more to me than my job?
I told Howard I love you more, even though he didn't ask.
He said he asked me if he could depend on me, and I said no.
He wouldn't even say no.
No.
Just started yelling at him.
I don't have choices.
Like you.
Like you.
You have staff. I guess Shuli got his staff together and they're going to watch your house.
My staff.
Fred, I guess your staff will be on it.
I guess so.
All right. You have staff and choices. I have no choices.
You're looking at the staff sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm a pauper.
Yeah.
Benji, you have your staff taking care of things at home?
Yeah, Carmen and Elisa.
What's that? Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to leave Elisa home alone, and then your staff will watch over her.
There's people.
Right. Mary, my teeth. Pull it out with the pliers. You'll live and I will die, but my teeth will have done good for man.
My teeth will go on and on.
I think I'll ride out this storm in my man cave.
One tooth for you, another tooth for Lucas and Murphy, and the 2 cats will be on my side teeth forever.
Goodbye, teeth.
Goodbye, my teeth.
Can I tell you something that has to do with this, but not directly with me? DePace just called.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he wants
big-
to put on the air that he was ordered to stay home.
Ordered? By who?
He's very upset. I guess I don't know. He just said he wants you to know he was ordered to stay home.
Well, you know what? That's Doug Goodstein. I'm telling you, Doug Goodstein wrote me last night. Like I'm in the middle of 20 things, and I get this text. The in-demand offices are closed tomorrow. And that has nothing to do with our show, nothing to do with me. He wanted me to go give him the blessing.
It's okay.
And now he hasn't come in, and there's nothing going on.
People came in.
And he probably told DePace to stay home.
But, was it Doug who ordered him?
Yeah, well, who else is in charge?
Because that would have looked bad if DePace made it in and
Yeah, right.
Doug didn't.
Why would he tell him that? Why would he tell Scott DePace not to come in? It turns out Scott DePace is useless anyway. Gange's doing a fine job directing.
Take 3, zoom in.
Zoom. How you doing in there, Gange? Miss any shots?
1 or 2, but I'm holding it in.
Yeah. You're holding it in? What are you holding in?
A big shit.
My camera guy today has a broken hand, so we're holding it together. Sorry.
What?
What?
Said my camera guy today has a broken hand.
And he's here?
And he's here, yeah.
Right. So who told Scott DePace not to come in, Doug?
I believe it was our executives for the company didn't want the employees to come in today.
You mean executive producer?
Because they were
Doug
closing their offices.
Yeah, because they look like douchebags.
Right.
They could have been in.
I heard, Howard, that the lawyer's rap was that this is how lawyers get crazy. That they didn't want to be responsible if somebody hurt themselves while driving in or coming in, that the company didn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I told our guys. I said, if you can come in, great. And if you can't, stay home. Don't worry about it. I don't give a shit. I said, I'll be here. I'm suing the company, but not about, coming in.
I was already out of my house. Been out since 6:15 this morning.
Uh-oh, you better go.
Just saying.
Gary, you should go.
Be fine.
I'm serious. I'm not even saying it as a joke. You should go now.
Now?
Yeah.
Between now and the wrap-up show, is it going to be any different?
Yeah, I don't know.
I do.
It could change rapidly.
Yeah, if things could close down, you might not be able to get
He thinks
there.
I'm busting his balls. I'm not. I'm saying
No, I think that
if you're going to attempt to go,
11:30, I'll be fine.
all right. Just know your boss told you to leave.
But Polaris told me I better be out of here by 2.
I'd love if that trampoline went right through the house. Leveled it. Good thing I was home. Trampoline went right through the... Why the fuck wouldn't you remove that trampoline from the backyard? I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to remove. That's a flying object. If he's so worried. I'm worried about trees. I'd worry about that trampoline lifting.
Right.
In a hurricane with 85-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know. I'm really worried about the trampoline.
We move everything out of the backyard but the trampoline.
I wish he'd jump on the trampoline and trampoline back into Manhattan.
Well, that's how he's going to have to get up to the tree that falls on now.
Look, I'm flying. Whoa! Here I go, Mary. Boing. The winds are picking up. Robin, please, I'm on the phone right now with my tree surgeon, trying to make sure in case the storm knocks over trees that he'll be there. But I could depend on him.
Ah.
Well, Gary, I don't think you can depend on your tree surgeon to be there. I mean, he's got his own family.
He's got his own family with their own trees.
Well, then he's not my tree surgeon anymore. This just in, this storm took Gary's house away, and it fell on a tree, ironically. That's right, Wolf.
I couldn't have predicted that.
Who could
I wasn't there to protect the house.
And my trampoline is still solidly in the ground. All right. How's your
I really
Sonos?
do wonder how Gary's going to protect the house.
How am I going to protect my Sonos? Robin, can you believe it? I think 10 days have gone by, and Gary hasn't mentioned Sonos once until right now. That's right, boss. Sonos. That's it.
Making up for lost time.
Robin, do you really not understand how I will protect my house?
Hey, who is that?
Oh,
Did you really not understand that, Robin?
Uh-oh, it's dueling Garys. Robin, do you not understand that? Are you that stupid you don't understand it?
I know she's a big woman.
Can protect a house. It's too big.
No, I'm a beaver. I'm part beaver. I could gnaw through trees and fall on them. Beavers do very well in floods.
If anything happens, like Robert, if the gutters get full, it's a good thing I'm not there. The water should just come in the house, right?
No. That's one way. Okay, but like you said, if a tree or the wind starts really...
Robin, if it's a tree, I will dig through the tree with my teeth. Look. Uh-oh, Mary just called. The house just landed on Debbie the pet lady. Got swept away. Killed her.
Yeah, I mean, in a terrible, terrible storm, there's really no way to protect the house.
Robin, you don't know anything.
If a branch hits a tree, if a tree hits a window...
If a branch hits a tree, and the tree hits a window...
If the tree hits
how
a
many
window,
trees
the window breaks. Should I not cover that up?
Let anybody hear it?
Should I not cover that up, Robin?
Well, argue with Gary. What?
Hi, Gary.
Yes.
If a window breaks and water's coming in, should I not board that up?
You should board up the tree. You should cut down the tree, make boards, and then board up your window.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't you think it's more important to keep your family in a safe place until the storm is over?
Mary is I told you, we have a contingency plan. Mary's going to float away on my teeth and live like Titanic, and now I'm going to die.
I think the house is a safe place, Gary, but I think that things can happen to the house.
If the branch hits the tree, wait a second, I got confused. If a tree hits a branch, and then the branch hits the tree, and then it goes into my window, what am I going to do? He's going to do something.
What are you going to... You have, like, wood in your house to board things up?
Yes, I'm prepared. We bought wood for boarding the house.
I have tarps.
And I have tarps.
Stand back, family. I'll make our own dam.
In fact, we don't even have windows. We took them all out. But we left the trampoline in the backyard. He's all Mr. Prepared with the trampoline in the backyard.
Julie, feel free to say something funny.
Okay. I'll attack Julie.
I'll go after somebody beneath me. That will make me feel better.
All right. Anyway, listen, everybody, good luck.
And everybody be safe.
And Gary especially be safe.
You know what? The highways in Connecticut are being shut down at 1 o'clock.
That's true.
All state highways.
So then why are you not leaving now?
Because I can do the wrap-up show and still leave in time
Gary,
to get home.
leave now, and I'm being serious.
Lieberman said that there's a rumor going around that the New York highways are getting shut at 3.
Would you do me a favor, though? Remove the trampoline from your backyard if you do go home.
Yeah,
that just seems like
it's too big.
No, he can dismantle it. If he can cut down trees and fix windows, he can dismantle the trampoline.
I may have to gnaw the trampoline apart.
GNAW?
I'm sorry, gore. What a callback.
You're right. That's a callback and a half. All right. Mary, the hurricane hit. Quick, everyone on the trampoline. We'll trampoline back into Manhattan.
We'll bounce to safety. We'll bounce to Ontario. The hurricane is not going there. Hello, Toronto.
By the way, so we're going to make every effort to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not me.
If we're not...
Hey, guy, do you think it's fair for Howard to single you out this way?
No, but he knows he's gotten under my skin, so he's going to keep going with it.
Hey, everybody loves when John Lieberman raps. I got so many letters and people say, please let John rap more. A couple of people said, please never let him rap again.
Well, I think it could be the rap to end all raps.
He did a great job with Bolaris last night.
Yeah, they were doing a live weather show.
He did 4 hours of radio yesterday.
Yeah, they were busy. John Lieberman.
They were great.
In the house.
They took it seriously.
I just saw John here this morning. Where does John live?
No, he stayed in the city as well. And his girlfriend
wasn't he worried about a tree falling on his girlfriend?
Well, his girlfriend works for CNN. She was here all night working.
Right,
so
right.
they both stayed in the city.
Right.
That's it. They did it. You know, they did.
John wanted me to know he was here because I was walking to my office and he goes, Howard, hey, hi.
I'm dependable.
Hey, you know what?
Here,
Good to see
Howard.
you. Yeah,
That's
over here.
That is so not how it went down.
Hi, Hal.
Howard, you missed me. I'm over here.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing,
Just
man?
you know.
Did you feel you had to go home and to protect your house?
No, it's a crazy situation, actually. Well, I stayed in the city last night because Bolaris and I did all the shows, and then I was staying here. My girlfriend works at CNN, as Shuli said, so she had
What'd she do for CNN?
She's a producer for Piers Morgan.
Oh, no kidding.
So they did round-the-clock coverage, so she had a separate hotel room, and I had a hotel room through here. But listen to this. I'm supposed to close on a house tomorrow afternoon in coastal Connecticut. My whole is
the house still there?
I don't know, Howard. This is the thing.
Are you forced to close on the house if it no longer exists?
Well, no, you're not. No, I'm lucky in a way in that if there's major damage, it's going to be on the seller. But still, I love the house.
Can you imagine if you closed like 2 days ago and now it's your house?
Was washed
I
away.
know.
Yeah.
So I keep checking in with my real estate agent up there, and she has her own issues because she got evacuated. And so I'm just waiting to hear if this house is still there or if it's flooded or what. We're supposed to close at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
But so fingers crossed.
You got wild stories. Well, you could rap about it if you want.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
But
supposed to close on a house. I ain't going to get stopped by a mouse. But a hurricane could be the real louse. If you know what I'm saying.
Word up.
Yeah, word up.
Way too many words rhyming for John.
How the hell are you affording a house? We're paying you too much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need a salary reduction.
Okay.
None of our staff owns homes.
This guy has 18 jobs outside of this one. You kidding
like
me?
a mad Jamaican.
Yeah, I'm just like a crazy Jamaican.
I'm crazy. Jamaicans are hardworking people.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Hey, we got to work. Did you get to hear any of the show last night?
Yeah, I heard a little. I was in the middle of my own weather system coming through my apartment, so
Yeah.
I turned it on, and then I went, fuck this. I was going to actually call in on you guys on the ISDN line because we had just set it up, and then all hell broke loose in my apartment with this alarm going off, and I didn't get to be on your show.
Yeah, it was crazy. The building here was swaying like crazy. In the middle of our show, it was swaying like crazy. And I mean, I thought the show was great because we had a good cross-section of being serious, but then serious mixed with funny. I mean, Bobo was crying on the phone. You could see a deterioration of Bobo throughout the 2 hours.
Why was he crying?
Well, at the top of the broadcast, we had Bobo on, and he was sort of joking and sort of like, I'm in my car, but the water's coming up. By the end, he called me and left me a voicemail crying. We were in a commercial break, and then we finally got him on the air. He was crying. The transformer blew up at his house. He didn't know if the water was going to mess up his shrine to you, and all of a sudden it was like all hell broke loose, and the guy was crying. It was crazy. And Bolaris is telling him to find cover and get safe, and I think JD has the clip.
If you want to hear it, it's on GP2 in white.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
Bobo calling in.
The best is they go, we told you to leave. He goes, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like half therapy, half weather special.
We're trying to get Bobo on the phone. I'm going to play this voicemail in a moment. Do we have Bobo? We have Bobo.
Yeah, hold on, John. I'm on life, but we've had an explosion over here.
Okay, well, if you need to go take care of your family, go. We just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay right now, but it just had an explosion. Almost knocked me off the deck.
What happened? What did you hear? What did you see?
It was an explosion and on the pole and a light. I'm on the phone with Lifer right now, and the whole house is out of power
Transformer blue. Transformer blue. What's the rain doing in the wind?
The rain is about 75 miles per hour, and it's heavy rain. It's about 4.5 feet of water now.
All right. Well, please go take care of your family.
All right.
Stay safe. And, wow.
He told you to leave, Bobo.
John, that just underscores, I mean, I know we've been saying it, but it just underscores the danger of what we're dealing with Super Cyclone Sandy.
Well,
Wow.
So that was the end. So you have to understand, that's the culmination of now we've seen Bobo deteriorate slowly through the 2 hours. And that's what finally happened. And there's more. 11:15 last night in the hotel, I'm trying to go to sleep. It's Bobo calling. I don't pick up. I let it go to voicemail.
How does he find you in the hotel? On your cell?
On my cell.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, he calls again. And he said, I just wanted to check back in with you. I said, well, good. We're glad that you're alive, Bobo.
Yeah, good idea giving him your cell.
Oh, it was great. I don't know if JD can get this clip or if we have time for it, but we asked High Pitch Eric what he stocked up on to be ready for the storm.
Right.
And it was
sushi.
It was hilarious. He's like, I got 3 Entenmann's cakes. I got this.
Oh, I heard that.
And we said, we thought you were on a diet. And he said, the diet is suspended during the storm.
They said, what supplies did you get into your house? Where is that clip, JD? Because that's a good one.
It's GP2 in green.
All right, here you go. Listen to this.
What have you stocked up on to make it through Frankenstorm 2012?
I stocked up on some Entenmann's chocolate cake.
What happened to the diet?
Some Hostess cupcakes, 2 bottles of cherry Pepsi, and some peanut butter M&Ms.
Wow. Is the diet on hold because of the severe weather?
The diet is on hold just for this week.
So just while the storm is here, the diet's on hold.
The diet's on hold just till the storm is over.
Obviously a big excuse for a high pitch to load up.
Fat people always have reason to suspend their diet. You know, there's always like, look, normally I'd be on the diet, but look what we're going through.
About an hour later, we checked back in with him, and he had eaten all of those rations.
Right. He went through all his food even before the storm hit.
So he said he went back to the store and got 2 large bags of Cheetos and another big thing of cherry Pepsi to help make him through the next phase. To help make him through the next phase of the storm.
Oh, he's so gross.
So you work at that store and you see him come in again. Hi, I'm here to resupply again.
No surprise.
And he's got all the shit that will stay good for the next through 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have little tabbies?
It was great because we got Sal on the phone, and I said, Sal, what rations do you have to get through the storm? And he goes, what? What?
He never heard that word before.
Rations? He doesn't know the word?
People started tweeting and Facebooking, like, of course Sal doesn't know the word rations. Don't ask that question.
He's retarded. Like, it kind of makes me sad when I think about my staff. Like Sal and Richard, I mean, Richard had a pretty decent IQ. Sal doesn't, but
Richard's not using his. He's keeping it in storage for some reason.
I mean, Richard lives in Manhattan, hasn't shown up here in 2 days.
Well, again, he lives in Queens, but there's no reason for him. Right. I mean, he literally could walk to Manhattan.
Yes, but he has no children. I mean, it's not like he has to be home with them. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he could have been here helping out.
Speaking of your staff, and Gange was here yesterday and today, which he should be applauded for. We checked in with him last night. He was at a bar trying to pick up the bartender. Right. So he puts her on the phone and everything. And he steps outside and he said, the weather isn't doing anything. It's 5-mile-per-hour winds. So I turned to Balearis and I say, Balearis, what are your models showing? Balearis is like, my models are showing 55 to 60-mile-per-hour winds sustained in that area right now. And Gange's insisting. Of course, Gange had been there drinking for 5 hours. So Gange insists nothing is going on here. He is preoccupied clearly with trying to pick up this waitress. 10 minutes later, get a text from Gange, and we read it on the air. He says, bar being shut down by NYPD because they have to shut off all the electricity. We're about to get flooded.
What time of night was this?
This was early in the night, 7:30.
Wow.
So it was just funny to hear Gange insist that there was nothing going on weather-wise.
By the way, I thank God Gange's here. I mean, because it restores my faith in him. I mean, he's a guy who I feel is a real slacker, but he's kind of risen to the occasion. But got me looking at him. He's gotten so fat. He's fatter than anybody on the staff now, right?
He's big.
What happened to him? Like, he's a single guy. Isn't he trying to get women? And
he was trying to get a woman the other night.
I asked him first thing this morning, did you go home with Lauren? He said, no, I really wanted to.
He looks terrible. He's given up. How old is he now?
I don't know how old he is. What are you, Gange, 42?
He's got to be in his 40s.
Yeah, I think he's 42,
looks
43.
Like he's 58. Looks like he's my age.
But Gange's first love
I know. I feel like I feel terrible.
What's going on? I hadn't seen you in a while. You're big and rotund.
I'm probably the heaviest I ever was, or ever been.
What do you weigh now?
I'm probably saying 250.
Wow.
252.
How tall are you? Like 5'9"?
5'8".
5'8"?
Yeah,
250.
I know.
Maron.
The other day I was watching football and there was an NFL player and he was 6'4", 300, and he was huge.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm only 50 pounds lighter than that guy, but like 8 inches shorter.
Right.
I'm like, I can't believe it.
How are you going to get girls if you're all gross?
I don't know, dude. Sometimes, you know,
what
like...
happened with the bartender? Was she even giving you the time of day?
I mean, I know it's a bar that I go to all the time.
Right.
So she, you know, I know
What do you
her.
drink there? Beer?
Yeah. Yeah,
And how
mostly,
many-
I mean, depends.
How many beers do you drink?
Yesterday, I don't know, because I was there from like 2 o'clock to about like 7:30. So
Holy
I would
mackerel.
say, you know, I probably drank, 8, maybe 10. I don't know.
How many calories in a beer do you know?
I drink Bud Light because I try to.
Right, how many
pretend-
calories in a
yeah.
Bud Light?
100?
100, yeah, something
All right,
like
so
that.
that's
maybe.
800 calories right there.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, when you're sitting there drinking, you got to eat.
Well, no, because the bar closed their restaurant, so they had to send all their workers home, like in the restaurant.
So you didn't eat from 2 o'clock till 7:30?
No,
You
just drank. Just drank.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
That's why you're
Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
probably
Wait a
lost
minute.
weight during the
Hold on
storm.
a second. I
Yeah.
take that back. The pizza shop around the corner was open from the bar, so I did at some point go get pizza.
And when you say get pizza,
2 slices. Two
really?
slices. Yeah.
Well, that's impressive.
That's
I guess all those carbs from the beer filled you up.
Yeah, I was a little full.
Yeah. 800 calories, but I don't know what, another 500 from the pizzas? More.
Yeah.
Probably 1,000.
But then I came home and went right to bed. So I mean, it
Hey,
wasn't...
good. Let it all settle in there.
Yeah, you make sure not to exercise.
Let it marble up to fat.
Good night, pizza. That's how I get this veal-like appearance.
Holy mackerel. Yeah, good thing to lay down and sleep.
But isn't it? Ronnie was telling us that Gange sends back pictures of food. His Facebook is full of food pictures.
He's in love with food.
I do.
His Twitter just revolves around food.
And he's officially a 40, like when you're over 40 and you've been single your whole life and women go, that's weird.
Yeah.
Women have this thing. If you're over 40 and you've never been married, you're kind of odd.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel like I'm getting into that category.
Yeah, well, you're in it. You're definitely there.
I feel like they all look at me odd.
You've heard that, right, Robin? Like it's
Of
just,
course,
yeah.
everybody says it. What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
There's
The
a
other
lot
thing,
wrong.
Howard, when we do block party stuff and he comes on the shoots, like, I won't see him for hours. Like, I won't see him at all. And I'm not lying. As soon as food is brought into the green room,
right,
any kind of food, Gange magically appears.
That's a total coincidence because I never eat it. But I swear to God, it just seems like the minute.
Dude, I've seen your
food-
Facebook. Everything is pictures.
No,
of
I
food.
won't. But I won't eat their food. I feel embarrassed to eat their food, so I won't do it. But it is weird that as soon as food shows up, is always when I wind up in the room. It's like weird.
You had like one girl in your life that I think you wanted to marry, but she dumped you.
Well, I mean, I
Wasn't
had
it
two.
that intern
I
that
had
you
two
started-
long relationships. I mean, I was with
Both were
Jen.
interns.
Yeah, both. Well, Jen wasn't an intern.
She wasn't?
No,
She worked at.
she worked at K Rock.
Yeah, like his whole life is me.
Oh, come on,
Like,
stop,
dude. I mean, the
look, I've been
the
here
guy
since
was
20.
in college.
Yeah.
And I gave him a job, and and because I'm such an idiot, I still think about it this day. I so should have fired you. When he fucked up and sent my daughter Emily's a teacher a porn. She was a religious woman dying of cancer.
And wanted
some Seinfeld episodes, so I taped all the Seinfeld. And this fucking idiot, I should have just fired him that day.
You should have,
and I'm such a nice guy that I promoted him to Howard TV just to get him out of my house. I gave him a promotion.
Well, look, if it
It
wasn't
was
for
the
that,
biggest mistake of my life. And then like whatever chicks he gets are from the show.
kind of, yeah.
No chicks from outside from the outside.
No, that's not true. The last girl I dated.
Yeah, but she knew you were on the show.
No. The last girl I dated, not that girl you're talking about.
Yeah.
I dated a girl for like 6 months.
Well, Jen and the other one.
She didn't even know the show. She didn't listen to the show.
Well, okay, there's one. One out of 42
yeah,
years.
exactly.
All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you, I work here for 20 years. I
Yeah.
mean, I spend a lot of time around
God
here.
forbid you meet somebody outside of the show.
Well, I haven't. Well,
The only ones who get seduced by you were interns, and like that Jen she was working here too.
yeah, well, she did, right. That's my charm. I can charm people who work here.
And why did that intern dump you?
I don't
Like how
know.
many
I'm
years
not
had you
going
been
into-
with her? And did she dump you for like another one of the guys who works for me?
I have no idea. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, who
I
the hell
thought that
knows?
was it. I thought she dumped you and then like went out with someone else who worked for me.
Who the hell knows? I don't even know.
What happened to her? Is she married now?
I don't even know.
She's
I
probably
don't,
married with kids.
I don't keep track, so I don't know.
They're not
Did she break
food.
your heart or no?
I mean, that was a tough one for me. Yeah, sure. That was a tough one for me.
Yeah,
but that was a long time ago already. It's been like 5 years.
But that's my point. You're on a fucking losing streak.
No, look. I have some stuff going on. It's not great, but I have stuff going on.
Like really heinous-looking women?
No.
Are the women you're getting are getting uglier as you get fatter and older?
No.
No?
Thank God.
All right.
No.
Are they equivalent to you?
They look like me in a wig? No.
I picture like a girl who looks like Benji coming in with a like.
You look lovely tonight. You look like Mrs. Shrek.
Well, Benji certainly loved Gange.
Hey, listen, look, if she was cute and had nice eyes, I'd hook up with her.
Hello, Benji. Oh, that's my girlfriend.
Could you talk higher in a higher voice?
Wow. So you have no girlfriend now?
Right now, no.
Right at this moment.
Yeah, right at this moment.
It could change any second, though, Howard.
But I
get
get stuff going on here and there. So
what does that mean? What does that mean?
I have,
Stuff going on.
I have like a friends with benefits situation that, like, you know.
Oh my God!
Whenever we're around, we hook up.
What's the benefit?
It's like a kind of
you get food. She serves you food.
Friends with benefits.
What's her benefit?
I don't know. I don't know what her benefit.
Yeah. She's benefiting so much.
You know,
All right, good for you, man.
I got some stuff
well,
going on.
I'm proud of you. You're here, and you're being a big help, and thank you.
All right, dude.
All right. Good luck to you. Let me know if I can find an intern for you that could be the future Mrs. Gange.
Look, if there
would
is
you like to be married, or are you like such a prince in your family that? Like, it's impossible to find a girl good enough for you.
No. See, dude, it wasn't anything like that. I think I want to be married now.
Gange's like a young prince in his family. Like, as much of a loser as he is, in his family, they consider him the big winner because he went to college.
Right. Yeah, that
and he
makes
works
me a
for
superstar.
me.
No, I think for a long time I didn't want to be married, but I think I'm kind of getting.
Now you're getting to that point where some girl might be lucky enough to be in a committed relationship with you.
Some lucky girl might get me.
All right.
If you're out there,
if you're out there,
I'm ready to settle.
Ready to settle in with you.
I've had too much fun.
I promise not to get that much fatter after you marry me. Imagine how fat he's going to be when he's married.
I was just watching not too long ago on Howard TV.
Wait, don't you think Doug Goodstein is weird? Like that he didn't show up yesterday and today. I mean, it's just weird.
It's a combination
he's like
of
such a guy you can't depend on.
I think he wants to be home with his family.
Yeah,
I kind of get that.
Well, then he shouldn't have a job.
I want to retire from radio.
I know. You know
what I'm saying?
I think he gets worried about his wife and his kids.
Yeah,
and he doesn't want to leave them.
We're not worried.
I know. I mean, I have nobody to worry about, though.
I think
if I die, who the hell cares?
Well, we can expect this behavior from you.
That's why I came in. Nobody's going to miss me.
You're worried about if the pizza shop's going to be open.
I mean, you know how Doug is like an emergency? Like his eyes bug out of his head and he's all running around. But he doesn't do anything. He's not.
But yeah,
he's useless.
On 9/11, he went down to ground zero.
Yeah, and did nothing.
But he
says he helped
stole
out.
a camera and took pictures.
He stole a camera. That's right.
Right.
And he says he helped out.
But he did put himself in danger. How is that helping out his family?
Well, he wasn't married then, so I mean.
But Gange said on the wrap-up show that didn't you say that DePace was going to come?
Oh, by the way, DePace. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. DePace tried to come in today. He's still stuck on the highway. He's been stuck on the highway since 4 a.m. But he can't get in.
But you said.
And the cops won't let him turn around.
But he's an idiot. He could have come in Monday when there was nothing going on. Like Doug and
now
Scott
he's trying to get in.
Like, I don't even get these guys. Monday, nothing was happening. Oh, but it could start happening. Well, if it starts happening, we'll leave.
According to Gange, Doug called him on Monday and told him not to come in. Isn't that right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he got us to
Doug
come
goes
in,
out of his way to tell people to stay home. So
right?
Yeah, he doesn't. You all should stay home.
The company was very worried about everybody going.
Yeah, and rightly so. But come on. They have to do that legally. They really don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, before the first person got sued for that, they didn't care.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If there were no lawyers in this world, they wouldn't care when you did. Yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah, you were talking about Gange's love life, huh?
Well, what do you know?
A lot.
Rather hear about that.
There's been girls,
right,
that want to go out with him,
right,
but they're not good enough for him.
And have you seen these girls?
Yeah.
Are they good enough for him?
Yeah, a couple of them were good enough, but I don't know what's with him.
I have very high
He's very picky. He's very picky.
I'd like to date the cast of the old 90210.
There's one girl.
And I don't own a mirror.
There's one girl that totally throws herself at him.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, I know.
Throws herself at him.
John?
Yeah.
And he could go out with her and bang her in a split second.
Yeah.
And I said to him, Gange, if she wants to go out and get laid, why don't you want to go? What's your problem?
What do I always say?
First of all, she lives too far. She lives in Long Island.
So what?
Now he's got a car, but that's too far.
She showed up in an event.
But now she'll come to the city, take a train from Port Jefferson. Okay?
Why don't you get started with her?
You know why? I mean, it's such a weird explanation, and I know you're going to think I'm crazy.
We know it.
But
she's not a
Well,
no, I don't.
Maybe he's thinking clearly.
She's a single mom, and I don't date single moms because I don't want to screw around with somebody's head like that.
Okay, I admire that.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to get into
to have a good time.
I don't care. I just don't want to because
He doesn't want to get emotionally involved.
They don't ever.
All right,
think
come
like
on,
that.
commend them for that.
All right,
I'm a fucking break.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall in love.
Because it's a single mom. She's got a kid. Then he's gonna fuck her. Then he's involved with her. And then like all of a sudden,
but she doesn't care. She just wants. She just wants to party.
She says she doesn't care.
But
then
I don't believe any of them.
Dick in her, and it changes everything. Now he's got to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Well, what about the others? What about the bartender chick?
Which bar?
The one you've been trying to.
The one at my bar. I mean, I love, but I don't know.
She was impressed that you were a storm chaser. Last night.
We'll see what happens.
What happened? Did you ask her out?
No. So I go to this bar all the time, and one of the waitresses is actually a fan of the show.
Right.
So I've been going there for a long time.
So that's how she knows you're a loser.
Yeah,
right.
Totally. So she was there hanging out last night, and I was there with my friends and stuff. And John called me, so I was like, "Come over here." I was like, "Come over here. I'll get you on the phone."
Right.
I figured that'd be a great move. So
have you just sat her down and said, "Hey, I'd like to go out with you"?
She's got a boyfriend. That's the thing. So I mean, it's one of those things where I'll keep working in. If she breaks up with her boyfriend, I'll be kind of there.
Yeah.
But she's got a boyfriend right now. So what are you going to do?
Boy,
I never got that.
So,
have you ever asked her out?
No.
Yeah, of course.
No.
So what if she has a boyfriend? Just say to her, "Hey, I want to go out with you." And if she says, "I have a boyfriend," then okay, that's a no. But why'd you ask her out? That's your MO. You don't ask people.
No, that is true. A lot of times
he'd rather sit and talk to him for 3 years.
Right.
Well, because I figure I have this thing where I'm going to be like, eventually, there's going to be a crack in the veneer, and I'm going to go in.
She sees you as a buddy.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So great. Like I have my boyfriend. He fucks the crap out of me every night, and then I can talk to Gange about anything. He's such a girl.
You're in the friend zone, dude.
So how big is his erection?
Does he fuck you really good?
Did he buy you candy for Valentine's Day?
Well, he had a girlfriend for 5 years.
I know, she dumped him.
Well, she gave him an ultimatum, and he walked away from it.
No, that's not true. That's not even true at all.
She wanted to get married.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true.
Oh, come on.
That conversation never took place.
I heard she dumped you.
We broke up. That was plain and simple.
Because she said the relationship wasn't going anywhere.
The intern, right? Ronnie?
Right or wrong?
Ronnie, the intern.
No, I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
No, that's not the way it went.
Ronnie,
no.
is that the intern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the way it went.
He can't even get lucky with an intern.
She wanted
5 years, man. He was with her 5 years.
5 years, but he can't close the deal.
I think that one was she wanted to leave, and then Gange threw in marriage.
Marriage.
Oh, I don't even remember anymore. It was like 5 years ago already.
I made engagement pizza.
You don't forget a 5-year relationship. Sorry.
It was a long time ago, and I don't know what my mindset was at the time.
I remember.
I'm claiming ignorance to it all. I don't know.
Boy, same story with you over and over again.
Look, I like who I like, and I go after who I like, and that's it.
Yeah, but you don't even go after them.
No, I do when I like them.
No,
Again, the last girl I dated, which
you should ask that waitress today. Would you like to go out with me? Okay. I would love to take you to a movie. I'd love to take you to dinner.
Supposedly she's working today. Right. So if the bar's open, I'll go there today.
Imagine, I can't get a sandwich in town, but the bar is open.
The bar's supposed to be open. They said they were going to be open.
Right.
You know,
so if they're open, I'll go there.
Just go up to her and say, you know what? Yeah. I've known you for 3 years. I'm going to put it to you this way. I think you're great. I'd love to go out with you. I'd love to go take you out of the bar and go to a movie, go to dinner. Let's get dressed up and go out. That's what you say to her. And then finally you'll be out of your misery. If she says, no, I have a boyfriend, say, understood. I just thought I'd ask because I really, care about you. And if she says yes, you're in.
All right.
Yeah, but here's what I think. He's afraid.
You waste so much fucking time.
If he does that, and then she says no, then he's not going to want to go to the bar anymore.
Hey, of course you go to the bar. And by the way, and you say to her, listen, I didn't know how you felt about me. Fine, I'm coming to the bar. But now you go to the bar, you don't have to sit there and pine away for her and flirt. I know what you do.
I got to
try to be
flirt
charming.
with her. Yeah, exactly. I got to sit there and flirt with her.
Fuck being charming.
I heard a great joke today.
And then she's telling you about her boyfriend, and you're like, oh.
No, I'd never ask about the boyfriend. If she,
yeah, but she'll tell you.
No, if she tells that, I change the subject.
Does he have a big, thick cock?
Does she complain about him? Does she complain about the boyfriend?
No.
No?
Yeah. Does she live with him?
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh, douche.
She's only like 24 years old too.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm saying. So, dude.
Yeah, but how old was the girlfriend? You know, the intern. How old was she?
I mean, she was young.
Douche.
And how old were you?
I was old.
Okay.
Douche.
But you're being a douche. I mean, you're wasting so much of your time, and that's always been the rap on.
That is. I do waste a lot of time, but there have been instances where there have been instances where I really liked somebody, and it was like instantaneous, and I went right after, and I called friends to get her number, and I really did it. You know what I mean?
So what's holding you back this time?
I don't know. I just, you know what it is? Sometimes I get into this headspace
pretend
where I
I'm
feel
this girl, all right? Look at me and pretend I'm the girl. Oh, hi, Gange. What do you have?
I'll have a chicken parm here.
We don't have food here, you ass.
I'll have a Bud Light.
Bud Light. Okay, coming up, Gange.
Okay. Hey, what are you guys doing? What are you doing this weekend? I'd like to take you out for dinner.
Oh, I'm going with my boyfriend. What do you mean? Are you asking me out on a date?
Yeah. Why don't we hang out one time?
We fat hang and bald and old and a loser? How dare you? What do you think I am, a fucking loser too?
Yes, I'm all
going
those
places.
things.
I'm 24. I got my whole life ahead of me. You think I want to hook up with the likes of you fucking animal?
I think it'd be a lot of fun if you did.
Animal. You think I'm going to go out with a guy who stalked me for 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, you're such a creep. Everyone here laughs at you the way you flirt with me for 3 years.
Oh, great. No, I'm never going to do
this. If you would ask me out 3 years
That's why
ago.
I'll never go back to the bar.
This worked out really well.
Yeah.
Hey, way to go, kid. Well, at least you
Such
know.
confidence builder.
Oh, I can never be attracted to you. You're too fat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm waiting for them to say, really.
Wasn't enough you had 8 beers, and even had 2 pieces of pizza.
I was the only one eating pizza in the bar.
Yeah, I mean,
I brought it back to the bar.
Hey, I'm hungry.
Can you really ask a girl out if you've been sitting at a bar for 8 hours?
I don't know. How happening are you?
Hey, listen, so is she. So
Are you not wearing
Girls,
shoes?
Did you leave her a big tip?
He's not wearing shoes?
He's not wearing shoes. He's got socks and he has no power
I
at
have
home.
these really thick boots, and I'm just dying in the control. I'm so hot in the control room, so I took them off because I was dying in there.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to get ready to go back to the bar? You have no power at home.
I don't care about my house as long as, well, actually, so they're not going to have power because they're right across the street from me. I have no power.
Girls, you're not going to believe you just asked me out. Do you know that Ed Asner-looking guy? Yeah? He asked me out. I told him no. I told him he was fat and bald and a loser.
Do a lot of guys hit on her at the bar?
Of course, she's really good looking.
Yeah, and guess what? They get the answer right away. Like, they go, hey, honey, let's go out on a date.
And it's one of those bars where
what would you say to her, Ronnie? You're good with chicks.
I would just walk over and just say, hey, listen, what's up? What are we doing? You know.
What are we doing?
Do you have a boyfriend? I wouldn't even ask if she had a boyfriend. I'd just say, you know, what's going on?
Yeah, when are we going to fuck?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Let's go hang out.
How you doing? Is your clip pierced?
Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Yeah, I'll write her a poem.
Oh, God.
I bet your pussy smells good.
Good afternoon.
If you were a booger, I'd pick you first. Oh.
Works like a charm.
Yeah, works great, man.
Oh.
I've never had a problem.